Welcome to the Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. This is the Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast.
All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. Hopefully we can get through this one. We've got some pretty rough storms rolling through right now, but man, this episode is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be with Michael Lee from Backwoods Life once again on the podcast. I know it's been a while, but I think we're going to have a lot to talk about for sure. So before we do that, I want to thank everybody. So in real time, I'm recording this a few days after the fourth annual Southeastern Bow Hunter Bow Shoot. Dude, we had an amazing turnout. We had over 100 people there. We were able to give the bow away. Dude, we had like 10 or 11 people that hit the 10 ring at 100 yards. That's absolutely crazy. So, man, shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to everybody that came. Thank you to all the partners that got involved in the giveaway. Thank you to Ace. Huge thank you to Ace. They brought over a lot of stuff for people so we could give them even more stuff than what the partners were providing. Excuse me. Everybody left happy. Everybody was. I got a bunch of messages afterwards that they had a great time. They'll come back next year. Next year, I've got some plans. I will definitely have water stations set up. That was one thing that we were missing this past weekend. But man, I had so much fun. So thank you to everyone that was able to help me make this happen. All the partners, all the people that came to support it, all the new people I got to meet. You guys are awesome. Y'all have no idea how much it means to know where it started, to see where it's at, and to see where it could potentially go. So looking forward to next year. I'll start dropping dates once I get everything situated. It's going to be bigger. The fifth annual shoot's going to be, in my opinion, a lot bigger. I'm going to try to do more things. And once that starts happening, I'll start rolling it out and sort of telling everybody. But yeah, there could be a video coming. I don't know. Working on some stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to cover. The deer are growing. Okay. So little preseason update. We're going to start seeing a lot more. I'm going to start doing a lot more preseason episodes here soon. But man, cameras are looking good. I haven't had much chance or much time to go feed. Excuse me. I have definitely been lacking on that, but man, just even then, some of these deer that are showing up, I'm just so excited for the season. Hopefully the acorn crop's not as bad. It's looking a little wet right now, so we'll see how much rain we get and how much, I guess, that plays into the acorn crop. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna be thankful just to be out there in the Lord's creation. So hopefully you guys are seeing big bucks on camera. Before we get started with Michael, we are going to run through the partners. So I'll try to go through these a little quick, but the podcast is brought to you by Sportsman's Empire. That is the podcast network that we have been under for a few months now. If you want more shows than just mine, head over to Sportsman's Empire and check out everything they have. It's all hunting related, but there's multiple different types of hunting show styles that are there. So I really enjoy listening to it. It's always a good feeling when I, wake up and check my podcast list and I see a bunch of Sportsman's Empire stuff on there. So, yeah, please go support them. It helps them and it helps us as well. Next up, Lone Wolf Custom Gear. Man, I am itching to get my stand out in the woods. I can't wait. We got like 2 months exactly. I am running the V2 double sticks, and I think I've got like 3 of them. And I'm also running the .75 DeQuisto series. If you guys are looking for new tree stands, I highly recommend you check out Lone Wolf. If you don't want to get the DeQuisto series, they also have a little bit more budget friendly for the guys that maybe aren't too sure about a hang on, but they want something that's good quality. You can try the Patriot series. And man, the quality is still there. That's the crazy part. Like, they're able to make such a good stand for such a lower price. I love it, man. I really do. I love what they're doing. Very thankful to be working with those guys. I'm actually going to be up at the Whitetail Road Show, hanging out with the Lone Wolf guys in a few weeks. Man, I'm excited for it. My buddy Case is coming up from, I think, Mississippi. I can't ever remember. I think it's Mississippi, but it's going to be a good time. So hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys there. And like I said, if you're looking for new tree stands, check out Lone Wolf Custom Gear. Let's see. Next up, Osseo gear. So Osseo, you can tell I'm repping a ton of Osseo stuff right now. Dude, Osseo is absolutely killing it. I am going to be running the Leafy jacket this early season, and then I'm going to be, let me think. I've got the the Sherpa pants for when it gets cold. I've got the puffy jacket for when it gets cold. Got a bunch of new like boots and what else? And shirts, hats, hoodies, gloves, man. And the quality that Osseo has, there is nothing that I have worn that feels as good or is as quiet or keeps me as warm or as cool, depending on the time of year. Um, Let me think. They've got the Raptor series, which is the OG pattern. That's what you see on my shirt right here. And then they also have the new Rap X, which I just found out today. I think in Latin means predator, Rapix or something like that. I don't know. Joe said it. He'll be on the podcast, so I'll ask him about it. But man, they got some new stuff coming. I can't talk about it yet, but as soon as I'm able to, you guys will hear about it. There's some really big things coming from Osseo. So if you're looking for new camo, Osseo is the way to go. Highly recommend that. Let's see. Next up, Boutique, best arrow wraps in the game. Working on getting the giveaway winner his link to be able to get those wraps. But if you guys are looking for custom wraps, you want your arrows to be looking right for deer season, head over to the Boutique. All right. Mike can make anything you need. And honestly, with his selection, you might not even need a custom build. So absolutely love those wraps and going to be using them for years to come. Let's see. Next up, G5 Outdoors. Dude, Mega Meat. That is the broadhead that I stand behind. I've just switched over all of my field points to the Mega Meat BMPs. So, I'm going to be practicing with that. Going to get some replacement blades just in case, because I'm hoping that I'm able to put a lot of deer down this year. And I know that the Mega Meat is going to get the job done. If you guys don't like 3 blades, they also have the T2, which is a 2 blade. And if you're not a mechanical guy, they have fixed blades for you too with the Montech M3, the Montech Striker X, and Striker V2. So G5's got you covered. I know there's actually some stuff that's coming down the pipeline. Once I get the go ahead on that, I'll also talk to you about it. But yeah, man, G5 in my opinion makes the best broadheads that are out there. Let's see. Next up, Prime Archery. Dude, this Prime Divide just is an absolute killer bow. It really did its job this past weekend at the shoot. And these episodes are actually 2 weeks behind. So when this one drops, the shoot would have been 2 weeks ago. Okay. But like I said, in real time, this is a few days after. But that Prime Divide 31 absolutely hammered it home on Saturday. So if you guys are looking for a new bow, you're running a little bit behind. But that doesn't mean it's too late. So head over to your local shop, shoot all the primes, see which one that you like the best. And look, guys, remember, nothing aims like a prime. Next up, Dialed Archery. Dude, running the proof. This proof right here, my Lone Wolf Custom Gear Edition, is absolutely the best sight that I've ever used. I love it. Be on the lookout for new small batches. If you guys aren't into roller sights or mover sights, Dialed has you covered with the Strike. It is a non-mover sight, looks just like the proof, and you can actually run a 3-pin vertical, or I think you can get up to like a 5-pin horizontal. Dude, Prime, or sorry, not Prime, Dialed has you absolutely covered. So yeah, if you guys are looking for new sights, head over to Dialed Archery and see what they offer. It's some amazing stuff. Next up, Moultrie. So you guys by this time would have already listened to the new episode with Mark from Moultrie. The Moultrie Edge 4 is here. There's actually 4 different models. So you've got the Moultrie Edge 4, you've got the Edge 4 Pro, you got the Edge 4 Solar, and then you got the Edge 4 Solar Pro. Pretty much the Edge 4 is going to be your baseline of everything. It's going to be a great camera. I'm not running any as of right now, but what we talked about, it sounds like it's going to be one of those really, really, kind of not game changing, but it's going to be an upgrade for sure. And then if you want to get the Pro, you're going to have even more, I guess, clearer videos and 4K video, or not 4K photos, but you will have clearer photos. And man, the solars are just there, so you don't have to go and change batteries. So if you're looking for new cameras, check out Moultrie. Yeah, man, they got you covered with 4 new cameras this year, and you can still get away with using the Edge 2 Pros, the Edge 2s, the Edge 3s, all that stuff. They're all really, really good cameras. Let's see. Next up, Bow Hunting League. So we are back, baby. I posted in the group. A wise man once said, "Oh my God, we're back again." And it's true, man. Team SEBH is, or I guess Team Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast is what we called it this year. But we are back in it. I'm feeling really, really hopeful. Dude, I just hope it's a good season for everybody, honestly. So if you guys are looking to join a group or get involved in the league, head over to bowhuntingleague.com. Tell them we sent you. I'm a state sponsor again. So any of you guys that shoot bucks, you're going to be getting a shirt with the podcast name on it in Georgia. Yeah, man. Bow hunting league's changing the game. And speaking of changing the game, they have a new thing that Ben started called the Whitetail Champion Bow Hunting Challenge. So what that is it's state specific. I am a state representative for that, so I'm not going to be getting, I don't get to, I guess, and enter. But what it is it's a state-based bow hunting challenge, basically another contest that if you get three of your buddies and you all pay $150 and create a team, the money you put into that goes into a pot. It's like a jackpot kind of thing. So say you guys win, y'all kill the three biggest deer, your team gets the highest points. You win 75% of the jackpot at the end of the season, and then you split that three ways. We are going to have a banquet, I believe, at the end of the year. I don't have any details on that yet, so we'll see how that turns out. But man, I'm excited. I really hope that a lot of people get to join this. I've been pushing it for a couple weeks now, and it seems like something that is gonna sort of maybe when you get a little burnt out at the end of the season, you're gonna be like, man, I paid that. I might as well go and try, and you could kill the biggest deer of your life. So. Yeah, that is the Whitetail Champion. Go check it out. Everything's linked below. If you have questions, reach out to me. Next up, Scrape Doctor. I'm actually putting some of my scrape stuff out, I think, at time of this drop, probably 2 weeks from now. So I've got a new product that James came out with. It's the scent beads. And so it's basically you pour the beads into a scrape, you make a mock scrape, whatever, get a rake, clear out some dirt. Throw the beads in there, spray the branch with a little bit of that scrape magic, and dude, watch it work. All right, these deer absolutely love this stuff. I used it last year and got the best results I've ever gotten. So if you're looking for scrape stuff, head over to the Scrape Doctor, see what he's got for you. He's got a bunch of new products coming out. I love it, and I think you're gonna like it too. Next up, Victory Archery. That's an easy one. I'm still running the HLRs. Absolutely love them. Catalyst Archery. Look, the best way I put it, I say it every single week. High quality stabilizers at an affordable price. Okay. So you can't see it in the video, but I've got my Catalyst Archery stabilizer. I forget the actual model name. Brian's gonna kill me for this, but he's working on some stuff. Okay. So he is actually he sent me a few designs and a few, I guess, prototypes and stuff that I'm really excited to actually try and use and compare it to what I've got. So far, these are the best stabilizers I've ever used. So if he's working on something that's even better, I really can't wait. But if you guys need some stabilizers, head over to Catalyst Archery, check out what he's got, use the code below, and let me know what you think. And last but not least, Unbound Archery. So those Unbound Archery is going to be the string partner that we've got. Just picked them up, I think, earlier this year. And dude, I mean, I love these strings. You don't have to wax them. I think it's a bloodline fiber that you don't have to wax. If you wax it, it's actually bad for it. It makes it a lot easier on the maintenance side of things. Obviously, try to keep it clean. But dude, I've had no string stretch or anything, no detuning of the bow, nothing like that. So I I like the fact that Nick makes he can make any color. Okay. So if you want like pink and brown, you can get that. If you want, like I've got the flow orange, all flow orange, you can run that. He even does a thing called a Crayola package where it's like a bunch of different colors all randomly put together, and you don't know what you're gonna get, but it's a really kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah, if you need new strings, head over to Unbound Archery. Use the codes in the description for all of these partners. Okay, we're trying to save you guys some money. I mean, who doesn't like to save money? And let me think, man. Yeah, without these partners, we wouldn't be able to do this. So please go support them. It helps support us. And before we get into it with Michael Lee, man, I got to talk to y'all about the Lord, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. I have been, I can't thank him enough, first off, for how the shoot turned out. Absolutely cannot thank him enough for that. I was telling, man, I'm gonna be vulnerable with y'all for a minute. I was telling a buddy of mine today that last year's shoot, I felt not like a hypocrite, but I did kind of like reflect on how I was personally acting and how like I carried myself with the people that were there. And I don't like the thought of, hey, we're gonna say a prayer over all the people here, and then I go in there and I'm just acting like the Lord's not even with me or anything like that, right? Like I didn't really like how I acted last year, and this year I was very very aware of that. I've been trying to do better, been trying to change, or I shouldn't say I've been trying to change. I've been trying to not fight the change that the Lord's putting in me, right? Um, Unfortunately, that's something I've noticed I do. I don't like change, right? But I know it's for the betterment of myself and my family and my relationship with God. And man, this year the Lord showed out, dude. I prayed about it the day before and I prayed about it that morning saying, Lord, I don't care, what it takes. I want you to walk with us during this event. And from the moment I got in my truck and went out to go scout to the moment that I left to go home, I could feel the Lord there. Man, we had a great prayer over the group. I met a lot of people that were just being open about their faith with me. There was a girl, shout out to Sam the archer. She absolutely killed it. And her and her dad told me that before she shot the 100 yard, which she hit the 10 ring, by the way. Um, before she shot the 100 yard, dude, they said a prayer over the shot or over her really. And then a dragonfly landed on her bow. And then when she drew back and was aiming, there was this really bright sunspot where she needed to aim. And that was the shot that she hit the 100 yard. And I'm like, that's God right there, man. Like I don't really know how to put it any other way. And like there was a lot of people that just were so open with their faith and with me. And I'm like, who am I? And I said it at the shoot, I'll say it again. None of this was anything of my doing. This is all the Lord's doing, all Jesus. I give all of the credit to Jesus. And, I can't thank him enough. I really would not know all these great, amazing people and get to know these people, right? Like I had no idea half these people existed. And then they come to the shoot and they're freaking awesome. Man, it's just such a great feeling, and that's the community that is sometimes missing, right? In the Christian life, sometimes people are like, oh, my relationship with God is my own thing, right? But he calls us to get together, and he even says, where two or more are gathered in my name, I am there also. And he was there, 100% he was there. So man, if you guys don't know who Jesus is, that's my plea with you is please give him a shot. Um, your life will change and you will be so thankful that you made that decision. So yeah, that's my preacher moment. That's a few updates. Shout out to Michael Perry for making a long drive to come hang out with us, dude. You're freaking awesome. We love you. Um, and I really hope that we get to see even more people at the shoot next year. But yeah, man, look, Michael Lee is waiting on us. So let's get started with Michael Lee from Backwoods Life. Buddy Michael Lee from Backwoods Life back on the podcast. It's been way too long. That's my fault. I apologize. I
It's all
want to
right, man.
say, dude, your episode I think was like this time last year, wasn't it?
I'll be
Roughly.
honest with you, I can't remember exactly when we did it, but it's
Yeah, I'll
probably
have to.
about. I think we did a little preseason last year. I think
That's
it
what
was
I'm
right.
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look and probably stop doing that because I had Cody Idol on, I think 2 weeks ago, and it was the same thing. I was like, dude, it's been so long. I was like, it's probably been about a year. And I know I told you we'll get you on again, and I just forgot. And it's like, I don't like that. I don't like being that guy. But
Oh, it's all good, man.
man,
But
thank you for coming back on, first off.
yeah,
So what you been up to over the past year? I know there's a few things we're gonna talk about, but
yeah.
what's life been throwing
Oh
at you?
man. Yeah, monkey wrenches left and right, but I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, because I guess if you're not busy, then you're not doing anything. So I look at it that way as, hey, I'm out there doing my thing, working hard, trying to create great content, go on some hunts, and get people to escape their life for a few minutes watching our stuff every once in a while.
Well, y'all do a good job. And I guess we'll just dive right into this one. You've got a podcast that I just recently found out about because you had Mr. Joby Martin on there, which what's crazy? So like I think I've been really intensely trying to have a good walk with the Lord for like 3 years,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
I started off watching the YouTubers and everyone's all like, I'm gonna pray over you on this video and the demon's gonna come out. And I'm like, we'll give it a shot, I guess, and see
Yeah.
what happens. And
That's right.
whatever. And
Mhm.
then I come across Joby and I was like, okay, this guy's got a beard. He's kind of jacked. He's got a southern
Mhm.
accent and he seems like he hunts. I didn't know if he hunted or not, but I was like, he's kind of a cool
Yeah.
dude. And then you had him on the podcast and he was just hammering it out about hunting. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is the type of pastor that I want to meet. Like,
It's funny you say that because I said it on the podcast with Joby. And first off, like that's the first time he and I had ever met.
yeah,
We had how it all came about is he followed our Backwoods Life account on Instagram. Then he followed my personal account, Michael Lee Outdoors, on Instagram. And I followed him back, of course. And I said, "Man, who is?" I said, of course, like anybody else on Instagram that follows me back, I look at their account, especially if it's got the blue check mark on it. I mean, well, I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, like I do kind of go, okay, well, there's a reason. And I checked out his stuff and I was like, man, this dude's legit. Like this guy is um he's pretty cool. Like, I mean, from a pastor standpoint, and then, of course, once you follow somebody, all their clips start coming up on your feed.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so then I start watching his stuff and I'm like, man, this guy's hitting on all the right stuff. Like he's hitting, driving the nail home hard to me personally. And I'm sure, who knows how many millions of other people, right?
Yeah.
Well, we follow each other and I just kind of keep going along. And man, I was just led. I was like, man, I'm going to reach out on Instagram. And the beautiful thing of having the blue check mark on your account is when you message somebody, your message goes to the top of the inbox. So
Really?
yeah. So I was like, all right, I guess I got front row treatment on that one.
Yeah. I
And
need to start doing that because there's a few that I've reached out to and I'm like, man,
yeah,
they really must not have seen it.
possible. It's possible. But
I'm gonna do it.
I reached out and he replied back and he said, well, I'm sorry. The first reply I got back was, I know Joby looks at his account, but I think he's got help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's so spread out and blah 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 that other people I'm sure are helping manage stuff. And the first one I got back was, oh, thanks for reaching out. Let us know how you'd like to collaborate. Blah blah blah. Okay, not my first rodeo. We got people that handle stuff like that for
Yeah.
people. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's going through his people. And then I said something else later. I messaged about, hey, we'd love to have you on the podcast. We'd love to do a hunt with you. Um, Simple as that. No, that's all I'm asking. And then he replied back was like, let's do it. And
Yeah.
email so and so and so and so. So I did all the things I was supposed to do to get in touch with these people. And sure enough, April there in their office replied back and said, hey, let's make this happen. But it's gonna be a challenge just with the timing, of course.
Yeah.
And this was back in like January, February, sometime like that. I can't remember. It was early this year.
Dang.
And we finally got it put together like June. So it took that long. Dude's so busy, which is awesome, number one. But that was the first time we'd ever talked to each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there like you on this Zoom, and like he sits down, and you saw the background. They've got an awesome facility down there. So he's got this whole room that's like, I guess it's his podcast or interview room or whatever. It's
Yeah.
got like elk and stuff all in the background. It's super cool. And he just sits down. He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "Uh oh."
Yeah. It's like,
Like,
hey.
because me, I'm from like South Georgia. Like, what's up, man? How you doing? And he's like, hey,
Yep.
man, what's up?
Where's
Like,
he from?
he's from South Carolina, but he lives in Jacksonville. That's where Church of 1122.
Got it. Okay.
But I was super intimidated. I'm not gonna lie. Like, just, you know what I mean? It was like,
I've been there.
and that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you and I have known each other for a minute, so I mean, I'm kind of laid back, go with the flow guy. But
Yeah.
everybody's not like that. Some people are just, and I don't know. I mean, I have respect for his time because we only had an hour, and he's busy dude, like I said. And
Yeah.
but it was almost like once he kind of figured out, hey, this guy's really just going to sit here and talk about hunting. Then I mean, we just kind of rolled with it after that. So, but that I will say, Joby, I may never talk to him again. I don't know, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like that podcast, you could tell his passion about hunting is 1,000% legit.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing I've been seeing a lot more of. Like, so we had I'm not going to go into too much detail for out of respect for the church, but
Mhm.
we were at a church for about 3 months, and we were really kind of trying to get like hot and heavy in it, right? Like we were trying to get involved and we were trying to, you know, I guess find our place.
Mhm.
And around here in this, I guess I don't know if it's all of Georgia or just, you know, Metro Atlanta, if you want to call it that, but there's a million different churches. They're all Baptist
Right.
churches or
Yeah.
Methodist or non-denominational. So it's like you go to one, you think you've been to all of them.
Mhm.
And my wife found this one, had a really good feeling about it. We went to it, everything was great. And some things happened that we noticed that we're like, that ain't right. So we probably need to go somewhere else, right?
Mhm.
And met a lot of good people there, right? But it's just, I'll tell you off of here what it really was. But
Yeah.
we ended up kind of checking out a few other churches. We went to one that my buddy goes to, and my buddy's a huge hunter. He didn't tell me that the pastor is a hunter. And when I say the pastor's a hunter, he has a deer blind and a freaking feeder behind the church.
That
So
way.
like, dude, that's perfect, right? And we went to a service, and I think his name's Josh, and he was preaching and brought into hunting, like he brought hunting into it.
Mhm.
And then I was told by my buddy that the week before he talked about like small deer and big deer and sort of not twisted, but like brought that into the sermon. And
Yeah.
I'm like, see, that would make sense to me, Like I
Yep.
feel like I'm starting to see more of a meshing of hunting and faith than I used to.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, like, I feel like you and
N-
I could sit here and talk about the faith and hunting for
n-
5 hours,
No doubt, dude. Because it all
So
ties together on so many levels.
yeah,
Just from the fact, like I told you before we started recording here, I tried to record a podcast today that had some technical difficulties, but it was all, and I'm going to do it again. So anybody listens to this, for the Backwoods Life podcast coming. I'm going to talk about hunting in the Bible and like why we hunt, like how it's justified in the Bible. Um, Not that I like, again, you and I both said this before we recorded. Neither one of us are pastors.
yeah,
We're just hunters that believe what we believe. We know what's right. We know what's wrong, and we want to share the word, and tie it in to reach more hunters. And going back to Joby right quick, before he came on the podcast, like some of my buddies and good friends down here, somehow every conversation he came up. They're like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's my guy. Like that, I like that guy, man. Like he's reaching me. Like he's the reason I'm going to church." One of my good buddies, Dallas Rogers. He's a country singer from down here in South Georgia area, but he got baptized not long ago, and he said 100% out in my Sunday school class. We sat in there and we would watch Joby on Sunday mornings in my Sunday school class, and that's
yeah,
100% why I decided to get baptized.
dude, that's
So
great.
I mean, the guy's reaching people that didn't even know he's
Yeah,
reaching people, and that's again, that's what it's about. It's not for us to have, we don't care. Like best compliment you get to heaven one day, and somebody walks up to you and say, "Hey, you're the reason I'm here,"
dude,
right? And
I'd be a blubbering mess if somebody told me that. I'd be like, really? Me? I was like, but I didn't do anything. It was all him. Like I could totally see that happening. But no, I mean, I have seen a huge uptick in like the
yeah,
popularity of I don't want to say preachers because that kind of sounds a little bad, like the Kenneth Copeland types. I'm not a fan of that. But
yeah,
when it comes down to like Philip Anthony Mitchell,
yeah, awesome.
him and Joby are the two guys I see the most of, and I'll listen to them and I'm just like, I really need to fix my life. It's like I thought I was good, and I hear this, and it's like, oh man, I was so wrong on what I thought that meant. And I mean, that's part of it because those guys do. I feel like they get the message out in a way that every single person can hear it, and it's going to hit you right where it needs to. You know?
Well, the thing, especially with the good and bad about social media, is you gravitate towards people that you're interested in, right? Now, so I'm at the point, and I shared this the other day with a buddy of mine. I'm at the point where my social media feed, I want it full of things that help me grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's
Yeah,
it. I don't care about the dumb stuff. I don't care about, hey man, did you see a guy ride a bicycle off the Empire State Building? No, I did not. I don't that doesn't
yeah,
better. That doesn't make me any better.
yeah,
And you can go down the wormhole of social media, any of the platforms you want to, and your algorithm and your feed is going to be full of the crap that you pick. You know what I mean? Like if it's
yeah.
bad, it's going to be bad. The beautiful thing about Instagram right now is you can reset your feed, so at least it
Oh,
starts
I
from there.
know.
So,
Thank
um,
God.
but like you said, now my feed is full of Joby clips and just all these pastors from all over the country that I'm just now finding out about. I mean,
Yeah,
there's these young guys out there, man, that are just hammering it home too, and I'm finding myself gravitated toward and more of that just because it's different. It's not fire and brimstone that I mean, there it is there, but you don't realize you're listening to that. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well,
It's
and the
hitting
thing,
home on points.
yeah, like I'll give an example. I mean, we a couple years ago went to this one church out here, and I was like new. I mean, I had just started. I wasn't even baptized yet.
Hmm.
Now, granted, I was baptized as a kid in the Catholic Church, but I just was like, I don't know if that's fully,
Does that
you know.
count?
And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know if it counts, so I'm just gonna have both in my pocket where I'm like,
My,
all right,
my,
Lord, I did both. Which one?
yeah.
But anyway, so we go to this church and we're trying to find a good one, and we sort of dip our toes in it, and we go, and I had just finished reading the Gospels
Mhm.
like a couple days before. And we're sitting in the back and we're just listening. And the preacher up there was like talking to teenagers. And he's like, if you have extramarital or not, what did he say? He was like, if you have sex outside of marriage, you're going to hell. You're on a one track way. And I'm like, oh, okay, that does, I guess, say that. But, yeah, and I was waiting for it. I'm like, all right, now talk about repentance, talk about
Yeah.
forgiveness, talk about mercy. Where's the grace in this message? And he never said it. And I told my wife, I was like, I almost stood up and was like, hey, pastor, you got half of it right, but you're missing the most important part. And
Yeah.
he just never touched on it. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I just know where not to go, And
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff like that, but when it comes down to like Joby and Philip Anthony Mitchell and like you were saying, all these other pastors and stuff, I feel like a lot of them are pushing the word correctly, where they'll
Yeah.
say, this is the sinful life you're living, but because what Jesus
Mhm.
did, he offers these things, and all you have to do is
Yeah.
accept it. So,
And they're also they're telling you the full story. I think they're hitting home points that, you know, um you know, all the way around. Like you said, if you have sex outside of marriage and blah blah blah, it's a sin. Like it's bad.
yeah,
But the flip side of that is they're also saying, yeah, don't do that. But if you do, because none of us are perfect.
yeah,
This is how you make it right.
exactly.
They're giving you the full angle to say, all right, we're going to tell you what's wrong, but then we're going to show you how to make it right, and how to
Yep.
do right, how to move forward with it, how to let that past go. And I mean, we all fall short, and that's going to happen, dude. I mean, a sin is a sin.
Hmm.
The only one that puts you in the express lane is if you deny that Christ and God created the heavens and the earth and they
Yep.
do not exist. Like if you deny them, then that's, yeah, good luck
Yeah,
with
that's the one
that.
unforgivable thing.
That's the one that there's no reverse. You know what I mean? There's no,
Yeah.
let me get dunked in the water and feel better. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not going to.
I
I
mean,
don't,
look,
I don't have the answers. You and I we're just some hunting guys that believe in Jesus, and
yeah.
that's that.
I mean, I will say the amount of times because I probably read, and I do not mean to sound like I'm boasting or anything right now. I'm just
Mhm.
speaking facts, but I've probably gone through Matthew to Revelation about 3 or 4 times.
Mhm.
And every single time I do that, there's something new that pops out that
Right.
I'm like, oh, wow, how did I miss that?
Mhm.
Or maybe I'll read something that I can literally recite right now, but then I'll catch it a different way. And I'm like, well, okay, this actually makes sense, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. Again, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor. I might feel like one sometimes, especially on here, but it's
Mhm.
like, I feel like the gospel's so simple and people love to complicate it, you
That's a
know?
fact. That's
So,
that's probably one of the truest statements I've ever heard. Is
yeah.
it's really that simple. And good buddy of mine, Brantley Gilbert, wrote a song called 3 Feet of Water.
Yep.
And
Love
at the
that song.
end, at the end of the song, his last words of that song, it's just that simple.
Yep.
Like that's all there is to it, man. You know.
Dude, I still think it's so cool you're buddies with Brantley. Are did you pre-save his new album that's coming out?
Yeah, of course I did.
Dude, I listened to Good Old Boys and I was like, dude, Brantley's cooking.
I,
It's
I saw
it's
him.
crazy.
I saw him back in February. That's the last time he and I we've talked since then, but like the last time we saw each other was in February, and we were on a bus hanging out. And he played a couple of those songs on that next album for us, and that was one of them. And
Yeah.
um, you effed me up was another one. I was kind of like, let
Yeah.
me. I mean,
I
I
haven't
get
heard
that.
that one yet. Is it out or no?
It's on. Yeah, it's on. You can
It
download it.
is. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll look it up after this and
The
I'll see what you're talking about.
the radio version is "You Messed Me Up."
Mm.
So it's one of
Does he
those
say
like,
the full word in it?
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I've said it a time or two, so
Yeah, I mean,
it's
we're
no
like
big
I said,
deal.
we're all guilty. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, I kind of heard that one. I was like, "You my boy and all, man." But I get the song. Like the song is a very powerfully written song and
Yeah.
specific. But it's kind of like I don't know if we can play that one in the car. You know what I
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I've been so conscious about that. Like my wife was showing me some songs yesterday, and there's one that I don't even know the name of it. I'm not big into pop or like pop rap or whatever it is these days, but she played it and in the beginning it sounded really good. And I
mean?
knew the song before because she showed it to me like 2 months ago, but I
Yeah.
forgot about it. And so it's going and I'm kind of vibing to it. And next thing I know, she sounds like she's like 16 in the song, screaming in the mic, and she's like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." And I'm like, can you can we change this? I'm like, what? Tiffany's in the back and she's saying about like cutting someone's knees or something like that. Like, why? And she's like, this is how I feel when I'm road rage. And I'm like, yeah, but 11-year-old kid in the back. I was like, dude, maybe play this when she's not around, you know? But again, I also am guilty of playing stuff I probably shouldn't.
Oh,
So
man, we all are, man.
yeah.
When you go through my playlist, it might be, I don't even know, man. You might hear Eminem one second and then hear Johnny Cash the next. And
Yep. Casting
I
Crowns
mean,
after that.
yeah, I mean, exactly. Forrest
Yeah.
Frank. I mean, who,
Well, look, and I'll
nobody.
I'll be fully transparent. Nickelback's got a new song coming out tomorrow, and I'm so ready. I've been waiting. I was on their email list, and I keep seeing that they have this countdown thing they've been doing for like a week, and I'll
Mhm,
hear the opening guitar riff, and I'm like, okay, they're going heavy again. And then I heard a little snippet, I think of the chorus, but I'm not sure. And I was
mhm,
like, okay, Chad's got his voice back. He's gruffing it up like he used to back in the early 2000s.
mhm.
And so tomorrow morning when I wake up, it's the first thing I'm gonna play. It's gonna be 5 a.m. I'm just gonna be rocking out to
Just turn it
Nickelback.
all the way up, 5 a.m.
Yep. Yep. That's dad rock for you.
I did get to see them in concert. Brantley opened for them
Yeah.
a couple years ago, and I got to go down. And of course, he put on this show opening for them, and got to see them. And it was really cool on that one because we're sitting out in like in the middle of the like center 80 rows back or whatever. I don't even know. We're just
Yeah.
sitting there watching where you can see the show real good. And Brantley comes out and plays, his normal songs, those all of his number ones and hits and blah, blah, blah. And then he busts into like some Collective Soul and Godsmack.
Oh
Brantley
wow.
did. And I was like, dude, you're so good at this. Like,
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah.
shift gears, man. Like, you need to, I mean, like, he killed it. And then I'm like, wow, okay, I didn't know he could do that because honestly, we just hunt. We don't ever talk about music stuff.
Yeah.
And then, Nickelback comes out and they do their show, in which it was really, really good. That's the first time I've
Dude,
ever seen them. So they killed it.
I've been to one concert in my entire life. And I was 15. It was a Nickelback concert.
Hmm.
It's the first time I ever figured out what marijuana was. Dude, I got a contact high. I didn't even like obviously had nothing on me,
Hmm.
right? But when I was there, because we were up, I don't remember what road, we were up in, kind of the higher up. And so all the people down on the bottom, they had to have been lighting it up, and the smoke is just rising. And it was the best concert I've ever been
As
to.
far as you remember, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
I was like, dude, I don't know what's happening, but I feel great.
My
And
seats are high, and so am I.
yeah, it was fantastic. And they went up on like they took the stage and they were flying around with the stage while they
Mm,
were playing a couple songs. And I'm just
okay.
looking at it like, I want to do that one day. It'd be so cool. And then here I am. So you see how that worked out. But
Well, it's not over yet. You still could do it.
yeah, look, I'll tell you this. When I was a teenager, I played guitar. And if
Mhm.
you ever meet my parents, my mother will tell you, I played their song Someday on repeat. The solo in that song. I haven't picked up a guitar in 9 years, or no, 7 years. I could still probably play that. I learned
Yeah.
every single one of their songs on guitar just on repeat that it annoyed my parents so bad. They'd come in the room and they're like, okay, okay, you're on number 15. Can you stop now? And I'm just like, okay. And I just turn it down and keep going. So when I tell you I'm a huge Nickelback fan, that's an understatement. Like a lot
All
of
right,
people
fair
make
enough.
fun of me for it, but I don't care. Like their stuff is so good. And when I saw Brantley traveling with them, I was
Mhm.
like, dude, y'all have to do a collab. There has to be a song with them. And I think they did.
Good. I don't
I think they
remember.
did one.
Oh, I think they did one.
One they're like Copperhead Road or something.
No. Well,
No?
they may have. I can't remember, dude. Like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
I mean, um,
I'm nerding out a little
yeah,
bit. I'm sorry.
yeah. I'm look. I'm old and weary, man. I don't remember nothing.
All right, well let's get back to hunting
Yeah,
because deer season is in 2 months for us, just
yeah.
almost exactly.
Almost on the day, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And man, last season. So let me ask you this. How did your season go last year?
It was good. I tagged out here in Georgia, so I say good because I'm that guy really that I don't bow hunt during bow season. It's just so hot.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that down here in our woods, this is not true for everybody, that during bow season, if you go in there and we have, whatever bucks we have, they're super patternable, but you
Hmm.
also can educate them so easily during bow season. It's 95 degrees this afternoon, but he's going to be there at 6:05 on my trail camera, and you slip in there at 5 o'clock, and you've sweated your butt off getting in there, and you're
Yep.
pouring out, every
Wind
orifice of your
switches,
body,
all
and
of that.
just stinking up the whole area. And man, he didn't come in. Well, you know why? Because you were there. I mean, simple
Yeah.
as that. I mean, And I've learned that the hard way, to be honest with you. The only exception I'll throw in there on that is if I do get, we usually we don't get a cold front in September. You know, I mean, we
Yeah.
really don't. But if we get like a maybe a little low pressure that comes off the Gulf or something, it makes it cloudy a couple afternoons, or where the high is not 100, it's only 85, and the conditions are right. I'll slip in there and try to get on one.
Yeah.
But usually I bide my time until you know it gets right. That's usually around the 1st of November, and I go
Dang.
hard in the paint from
How
November.
do you do that? I could not. If I got to almost 2 months of season just passing me by, I'd go crazy.
Mhm. Well, I go to other states.
That's true. That's yeah,
So,
good point. Good
yeah,
point.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like this year I'm going to Wisconsin in early October, so that'll scratch my itch before
really?
Georgia gets right.
What part?
Um, near Webster, which is God, that probably doesn't tell anybody anything. It's kind of center of the state, left side,
Okay.
so not
Gotcha.
far
See,
from
I
Minnesota.
was supposed to go this year, and then my wife was like, "Hey, we need to start saving money and budget." And I was like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Guess I'm not going now."
there
And
goes deer season.
yeah, well, I was only gonna go for a week because my stepdad's got a buddy that's got 100 acres up there,
Mhm.
and he talked to him. He was like, "Yeah, man, tell him to come up." So, knowing what I know about that state with how big the deer can get, I
Yeah.
immediately was like, "Dude, I will go." And then that happened. So now the plan is to go next year,
Mhm.
and I think we're gonna go out and put out some cameras, so I don't have to like make
Mhm.
multiple trips and pull a Lee Ellis and go halfway across the state for some deer. But when it's not even deer season,
Right.
that's the thing. I'll do it when it's deer season. When it's not deer season, dude, I don't have the money for that, you know.
Yeah.
But you go to Wisconsin, I can't lie, I'm a little jealous. I am a little bit jealous. Um, that would be a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
are you hunting public, or are you going up to a farm,
No,
or?
I've got a buddy that's got a private land up
Gotcha.
there. So
Okay.
I've gone up there several times with him, killed some good deer, and
Well, yeah.
so I'll do that. I'm going to Kentucky at some point. I just don't know if I'm
Mhm.
going to go earlier or wait. I got my good buddy Ryan up there. He's got a bunch of good dirt, and um, I'm just trying to figure out. See, my early seasons usually kind of like but then once things start getting right, that's when I'm just like,
Yeah.
if you ever watch our social media feed, like, okay, they went hunting a little bit September, October. When November, December, January gets here, like it's wide open. Like we're just pounding
So,
it.
what do you think about? And I think I know the answer to this, but what do you think about early season mornings where it's not so hot?
I still don't go because most of my deer are on camera. Right, I mean, the time you're walking into the stand,
Yeah.
they are there. So I don't. I just if I'm gonna push the envelope, I want to push it when they're getting close to that pre-rut or rut where they're a little bit they don't care as much because when
Yeah.
you mess them up early, like they're on such a routine, and I could sit here and show you trail cam pictures like, look, this deer is going to be at this spot, and we hunt feeders down here. I mean, because we got pine trees everywhere. Like
Yeah.
there's
We
no
kind of have
food.
to.
It's either
Everybody feeds.
yeah. I mean, it's
So,
it's it's feeders and food plots, and the food plots are subjected to weather and rain and
yep.
soil that's sandy down here. I mean, we run into all kind of scenarios, but we do it all. But I can sit here and say, hey, this group of bucks. It's not usually right now. It's not one. It's like four or five. This
Yeah.
group of bucks is going to be at this feeder every day, every night, especially from usually about 30 minutes or to an hour before dark. They're going to come back about midnight. They're going to come back about 4 in the morning. Then they're going to be right there a little bit before daylight, and then you're not going to see them until it gets dark again. That's just what they do. It's the
Yeah.
summertime pattern, and that continues until we start getting those cold fronts. And you hit on something before we got on here. The acorns start falling. They change their patterns dramatically. Then,
Yeah. Dude, that's what I wanted to ask about is like last year, did you guys see the impact of the acorn crop that we did up here?
yeah. I mean, well, we don't have as many acorn trees as you
That's
guys
true.
do. Like we don't have the oaks like you guys have, but we have enough oaks that when and I was talking about feeders, you can tell when the acorns start dropping, like the feed or corn, whatever consumption just goes to nothing. But
Yeah.
I've also strategically found some spots. I say me and my guys I hunt with, where we have a group of right here, like one spot specifically. We have a group of white oak trees that fall. and we feed the deer year round right there in that spot anyway.
Mhm.
So we just made it into like, and every buck on the property is gonna come by that spot during
Yeah.
November. That they're
Dude,
gonna be there. You can write it down.
see, that's what bit me last year is I've never, I mean, I obviously know about the, acorn falls or
Mhm.
acorns falling and stuff. And where I was at, I thought, because I had a property that my buddy gave me um in 24, and I only hunted it half the year. Right. So I started hunting that in November. Almost killed one of the bucks that was there, and he was too smart, or he got lucky, one of the two. I don't know. But
Mhm.
so the following year we were talking, and I was like, "Hey, so what's early season like? Like what do I need to do?" And he's like, "Oh man, if you feed, they're there. So what do I do? I'm feeding all year."
Mhm.
And we had 8 different shooter bucks on camera. I mean, literally, like I was like, "Dude, this is going to be the best season ever." And opening weekend, I got blown up by a doe, so that was fun. And then the deer, I started noticing they were kind of trickling off some. And it was a little warm, but
Mhm.
nothing different than what we usually have, right? Towards, I want to say like first or second week of October, all disappeared. And now, mind you, I heard the neighbor working on something. And I just was like, okay, well, he's probably doing that when I'm not hunting. So I'm sure these deer are used to it. And they were still somewhat showing up. It just was like one day they'll daylight, I'm there, they're not there, you know?
Mhm.
And dude, it got to the point every single buck except for maybe one or two disappeared, and those one or two were pretty much nocturnal except for certain specific days. And of course, those days I wasn't there. And so I started talking to people around because no one was seeing anything. I mean, the feed wasn't getting eaten. Facebook was dry when it comes down to deer around this area getting killed. And so I ended up shooting a spike. You can see him just over there in the corner because I went 3 years without a buck. I'm like, dude, I prayed about it. I was like, Lord, I'll shoot anything. I'm desperate. And I hit the grunt tube, and he comes running up the little hill at a different property. And I remember looking up, I was like, I did tell you I'll shoot anything. Okay. Never shot a spike before. Let's send it. And dude, I was more excited about that deer than even the one over here in the corner. And
Mhm.
so I take him up to the taxidermist. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or because even his coolers and stuff, he was not as full as he usually is. And he told me, he's like, it's the acorns. There's so
Yeah.
many acorns, they're not having to move. And
Mhm.
it was November 1st. I shot that buck. He's like, I bet you the rut's probably not going to be that good this year because they don't have to move. All the does are going to be in the oak bottoms. Those bucks are in the oak bottoms. And if you try to get down there, they're going to set up where they see you or they smell you. So it's going to be really hard. And I want to say those deer started showing back up maybe January.
Mhm.
It was horrible. Like one of the worst seasons I've ever personally had. Even though I did kill that deer, which I'm very thankful for, but seeing deer
Right.
after that buck, I didn't see a single deer when I went hunting
Wow.
for 2 months.
Wow.
So yeah. Oh, and the neighbor was building a box blind during season, so that probably didn't help much.
Nah,
Um,
that doesn't do real
I
well.
saw that once all the leaves were down. I wanted to go over there and ask him, like, just knock on the door and be like, "Hey, hey, I, do you think that was a good idea? Like, if you needed help, I'd have helped you after season, you know. But
Mhm.
to do it during season, it, I don't know. Maybe it's just me,
Yeah.
but yeah, it wasn't fun. So hopefully this year we don't have as many acorns as we did last year. Like
Yeah.
all this rain we're getting, it makes me nervous. It really
Well,
makes me nervous.
yeah, the rain cycle's been crazy this year. We have a dry we had a dry spell. Golly, man. Um, Before turkey season started, it was so bad dry, and
Yeah,
then we had another dry spell after. So I don't know. I mean, I'm really impressed right now that we have the antler growth that we have with the limited amount of rain. Of course, we supplement. You know, we feed way more than we probably should. Well, I'll say that we feed enough to where we don't want to pay for any more, and they eat all of it. So how's that?
yeah,
So
I get that.
it's a catch 22 there, but um, I don't know. It's interesting to me. Um, because like again, hunting all over the country, and you like I've been to Illinois and Iowa, and all of Missouri and places that have tons of oak trees, and usually that's what causes the October lull
Yeah,
that everybody talks about, the October lull. Well, one, you've got deer that uh, may have been in velvet, And once those bucks lose that velvet, they turn into a different animal. Their
Yeah.
hormones change, their daylight activity changes definitely. And then like you said, you have acorns falling and it's not rut time yet. So they're just laying low, walk 50 yards, eat all they want to eat, and go lay back down. One thing that hurts us down here too is we don't have frost like in the northern states until later. So all the green stuff is still there on top of acorns still there. So they're going to eat all this native browse and vegetation and acorns and everything they can, persimmons. Heck, I've bow hunted over grape vines in the middle of the woods, early season, just wild grapes on trees and had deer come into those things. So you got all these food sources in the fall that you don't really think about, and then, oh yeah, once all that's gone, yeah, we'll start going back and eating some corn now.
Yeah. Dude, I wasted so much money on feed last year because of that. Because I'm like, dude, all it's gonna take, I'm gonna try this new thing.
Yeah,
Maybe a button head would show up,
yeah,
right? And maybe one day out of the week, one of the deer I was after would show up in the middle of the night and take a couple bites. I mean, it was honestly really weird because like I had a camera that I was using and I was running video because it was over a scrape and I wanted to get,
yeah,
some clips of that. And this one deer, he was always a big 6, and then he threw another tine out, so he was big 7 last year. I'm convinced that buck's got to be 7.5 years old, just based off how smart he is. But I
mhm,
have 3 videos where you can see as soon as that camera clicks on, he's walking in the frame and he stops and he looks directly at the camera. His ear flickers, his tail flickers, and then he just slowly backs out.
mhm.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I've
I
seen it
just
too.
spooked the smartest deer on the property,
Yeah,
and I know these other deer are hearing that. And you could
yeah,
see it too. And so I,
mhm,
I went out there and took it out. I was like, I will
yeah.
not run this camera like that.
Well,
And
and not to bash trail cameras because I mean I work with a trail camera company on Backwoods
same.
Life and
So
we
do
do
I. That's why I'm
great.
like
We
not
do
saying it.
great. Look, trail cameras are
Yeah.
tremendous tools. And I will say this: killing a turkey. You give me a trail camera, I'll kill a turkey. There ain't nothing to it. They let me know exactly what I need to know. But
Yeah.
a lot of people, well, like this time of the year, trail cameras are phenomenal. You can take
Oh
great
yeah.
inventory. You can see what bucks you have. You can see where deer are. You can pattern them. But once the sweet spot of the season, in my opinion, comes in, you're right. It's fun to run them on scrapes because we did it last year too. I got so many different bucks hitting scrapes and putting on, just cool videos, right?
Yeah.
But if you strictly hunt your trail cameras during most of the season, you are a moron
Oh yeah. And
because
I was that last
you're
year.
you're, you're gonna miss so many deer because
Yep.
you rely on what that trail camera is telling you. And now that trail camera is a great tool, and it's going to tell you what's in front of it at all these hours of the day, but it's not going to tell you what's 50 yards away. It's not
Yep.
going to tell you what's 40 yards the other way. And I don't know, not knocking any trail cameras out there, but some trail cameras don't work good as others. And one takes a picture, one doesn't take a picture. I've had two trail cameras side by side on trees, and I
Hmm.
had a really nice buck that I was trying to find, and and I had two cameras, and the only reason I found him is because one of the cameras took his picture.
Yeah.
He walked by, the other one didn't get him.
Yep.
So things happen, right? Great tools, and I mean I don't want to go without them, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, when it's especially November, man, just go deer hunting.
Yep.
Set your stands up, have you a good spot to hunt, have something you have high confidence in, have something with great history, and just go sit in the woods and let things happen.
Yeah. I mean, I had the perfect example of that. The spot that I killed that spike at. I got tired of just nocturnal everything, right? So I went over there and I didn't hunt. I just did a little bit of, scouting, trying to find scrapes and see what I could find. Dude, I found 3 car hood size scrapes
Hmm.
on the back side of the property
Mm-hmm.
in December that you could clearly tell were just pawed out like a day or two before.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a camera back there. I never would have known. So
Mm-hmm.
I immediately put one up. Dude, there was bucks I'd never even seen before back there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, they were nighttime, but still, I'm like,
But
okay,
there's
I'm missing this.
but those deer that are there at night, guess what? They're somewhere during the day.
Yep.
And
The
and
the
and the
problem
bit
is it's 7 acres, so I can't really move around a
that's
lot.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm basically running Seek One style stuff in the country where there's tons of woods around, but I only have permission on this one spot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it, I've been working on it. Honestly, I'll probably hit a lot of public this year. because I
Mhm.
like being, I've gone full mobile now. So I'm not running, I am going to have, I shouldn't say full mobile. I am going to have a set stand, but
Mhm.
public land, if I don't like where I'm at, I'll break everything down and go where I think I need to go,
Mhm.
So I guarantee we probably said this on the podcast last year that it's a learning process, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're never going to know everything. But man, so all right, let's switch gears a little bit. You
Yeah.
have a cool thing going on that you're doing this year. We talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but you were actually inviting people to come hunt with you this year,
Yeah.
right?
We I mean, something I've been wanting to do for a long time and been thinking about and trying to just figure out the logistics behind it. And um we're doing this called Backwoods Bucks and Bibles, and we're doing it at my family farm. And the whole point of the hunt is to get people there to enjoy the outdoors, but also get some time to reflect, to hear other people talk about their lives, their walk with Jesus, maybe learn a little bit about the Bible, maybe answer some questions. And I've got a really good buddy of mine, David Ferraro, who, I mean, he's like one of my best buddies in the world. And he finished seminary school at Asbury in Kentucky. I think it's probably been a year ago or so, or in that ballpark. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Davey. But he and I've been talking about doing something for a long time, and I made the video that and if y'all want to check it out, just go to leefarmbrand.com. That's our family farm website, and there's a whole page about it, Backwoods Bucks and Bibles. And we just decided to open up this year and do one weekend hunt. It's October 30th through November the 1st. It's real short and simple. You show up, you go hunting. I mean, food, lodge, and everything's included, and you get to hang out with some what I think are cool people, and maybe just learn a little bit about the Bible, and hopefully we'll get on some deer. I mean, that's just the whole point of it
Yeah.
is not the deer are the bonus part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say with high confidence we will see deer now, unless there's some crazy weather event that makes it impossible. But we will see deer. We'll have a good time, have some good food, hang out, and hopefully people will get something out of it. We can do it again every year. But all the money goes back into our family farm. Honestly, it's only just to pay the farm bill so we can keep doing this for the next hunt. And
Yeah.
that's how we do it. We roll over to help, pays taxes and insurance on the farm. And the house that we have my grandmother and grandfather lived on the family farm. They both passed away. So their house was there, and we decided, hey, what are we going to do with this thing? And we converted it into basically the family and friends bed and breakfast house. And done a lot of remodeling on it and stuff. And my aunt and uncle live right there. My mom and dad live right there. So everybody in my family is kind of being a part of this event and helping out. And it's fully guided. Like we go sit in the stand with you. We're going to tell you, hey, that one's a good one. That one's a bad one. Just
Yeah.
do it right.
Let that
You
one
can shoot.
walk.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You can shoot one buck and a doe or two, whatever we kind of see fit on that management side of things. But man, we've got food plots everywhere. We got stands everywhere. We got blinds. So yeah, I mean, it's a something that I really wanted to put together for a while. I'm not gonna take all the credit for it. I mean, I have my family and friends have also influenced this thing, and I hope it turns into something. We've got 3 slots left right now. Hopefully, you're gonna come join us, so we'll have at least one on the
I'm gonna
slot.
work on it. I'm gonna work on it. That we're still in the stage or the age range with Tiffany that she likes to dress up and go get candy, and then the candy
Yeah.
sits in our pantry for like 4 years, and then she comes to me and she's like, "Is this expired?" And I'm like, "Yeah, expired 3 years ago, kid." It's
Yeah.
like I don't think you should eat that, and then she eats it anyway. So
I lost three
yeah,
teeth, but it's okay.
yeah. I'm like, brush your teeth. She's like, okay, and then 3 days later, did you brush your teeth? No. It's like, oh God. Okay, Mr. Dentist, work up. We actually just had to explain to her yesterday about cavities and fillings. And I told her my horror story
Mm.
about a giant needle that got put into my gums when I was like
Mm.
16 and I had to
Mm.
get a couple fillings. I was like, you are not going to enjoy a needle piercing your gums and then you can't feel your mouth except for when they start drilling in your tooth and you can still feel it. I was like, it's
Mm.
horrible. You don't want to do it. And she just looked at me and I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, if you want to go, by all means, we will go. But I don't want to hear you complain about it. And so we'll see where it lands. But yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try. I'll talk to Jess about it and um see if I can't convince her. Be like, hey, you know what? We could set up some spooky thing on Halloween. You
Yeah,
know,
we can do
we
something.
could,
We'll go trick or treat in the middle of the woods.
yeah, we could get some deer mounts or something, put some fake like vampire teeth in them, put a
Oh
little
yeah,
fake blood on it.
we can come
I'll
up with
bring
something.
my deer. It could work. It could work.
We can make it work.
Dude, that's awesome though. I love the fact that you guys, like we talked about this earlier, but I really do enjoy it when I see people that have a solid foundation in the industry and they've got like, years of putting stuff out and people follow them and they've got a big following and they don't sit there and act like they're, some giant celebrity, but they give back to the people, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love that. Cause I mean, I'll be honest, dude, I probably said this to you before, but like when I first got started with this podcast and stuff, and I was planning one day, I was like, man, I just want to get like, maybe Michael Waddell on the podcast or something. That'd be really cool.
Mhm.
And then it happened. And I was like, man, this is wild. And then I was telling somebody about it the other day, and they're like, who is that? And it made me realize it's like we might have, our industry is big, but in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, it is so small,
Yeah.
you
We're
know?
we're we're
Like,
we're we're a blip on the map, dude. Like we
yeah,
really are. We're such a small. I mean, there's a lot of hunters out there and fishermen or whatever,
yeah,
and not. I mean, actually, more into that than there is golf, if you believe that. But I mean, obviously, what's more popular on the
yeah,
mainstream
it's much
media?
more fun, in my opinion.
We
But
shoot stuff. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
trust me. I played golf for years. I hadn't hit a golf on I don't know how long, and probably terrible at it now. But
I've been once. It was not
but
good.
but I've also been around, celebrities and, been fortunate to be around some of these people.
Yeah,
Off and on through the years, just I met all of them through hunting. That's what's the cool part about it. Like they
yeah,
all like to hunt. So, but I've been around celebrities in situations where that I see how people act. Like the crowd comes around them like, oh my gosh,
hmm,
you're so and so, and people that don't take a picture. We're not that in the hunting industry, man.
nah,
Like the only time anybody's like that is we go to an NWTF or whatever,
ATA or something.
SCI, whatever, yeah, ATA
Yeah,
something where somebody recognizes you and wants to talk to you, take a picture, whatever, and that's super cool. Like I'm honored that anybody wants to take 5 seconds to say, hey, I dig what you do. Like that's the most humbling thing in the world, and I'm so thankful for that. But I don't do it for that. Number one, like I don't care about any of that stuff.
yeah,
My whole thing from like, don't get me wrong, 20 years ago it was like it's pretty cool to see yourself on TV. You know what
yeah,
I mean? But now it's like, man, I want to be known as the guy, and I don't even care if anybody knows me. But if you do, I want you to be known as like, hey, that guy's he's the guy I want to hang out with at hunting camp. But also he's doing stuff for other people. Like he's giving back.
yep,
He genuinely cares about the people that dig what he does.
yeah,
You know, like not just, hey, y'all look at me, I'm the greatest hunter ever. I've killed all these deer. Who cares?
yeah, yeah.
Who cares, man?
Like if you're gonna be someone's role model, you want to be a good role model.
Right.
Like you want to set a good example, not a
Yeah.
look at all these deer that I've killed, and when I die, what's my kids gonna do with them? You
Yeah.
know?
I
It
mean, these things collect dust and cobwebs. We clean them
yeah,
off every month, And at the end of the day, it's cool. Like all these deer behind me are memories. Like I can
yeah,
tell you the story about every one of them. Even I mean, even stuff that you don't even see in here. I mean, I've got spikes and stuff that I can tell you the story about.
my
But
man.
but that's me. You know what I mean? That's my stories and that's stuff that's cool to me.
Yeah,
Nobody else cares.
yeah,
I mean, and like I said, don't get me wrong. If you come hang out with me and you think it's cool to see my deer and tell the stories, like that's awesome. Like I'm
yeah,
glad to share that with you. But also, anybody that's been around me and hung out with me outside of the hunting industry or just even in the hunting industry, I don't. I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm
yeah,
not until you ask me how my season went. I'm not going to be like, hey man, look at this deer I killed. You know what I mean?
yep.
I'm just going to be me and hang out. Like, hey man, you cool? I'm cool. How are you? I mean, the people I first meet, they like, oh man, you like to hunt a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't understand the magnitude.
Yeah, then you
And
show them what's
then,
behind you and they're like, "Oh,
well, and the thing with it, like when people walk into this room right here, they just genuinely go, oh
you
yeah,
really like to hunt."
that's a little different than
Yeah,
my buddy that likes
different
to hunt.
level.
That's got one deer on his wall. I mean,
Yeah.
not that- I'm not knocking that. I mean, that guy
No,
may
yeah.
hunt more than I do. I mean, I don't know, but I've just been fortunate enough to go a lot of cool places over the last 20 plus years and meet a lot of awesome people. And again, I'm thankful for all that, and it's also because I feel like I try to treat people the right way, and they're going to ask you to, hey man, I want to hang out with this guy and let's go hunting together, and that's the fruits of the labor. So
Yep. Yeah, I had a experience this past weekend. We did the fourth annual Southeastern Bow Hunter Bow Shoot.
Hmm.
where we had like a bunch of people at a local range and we gave a bunch of stuff away. And I'm I was the first one there. I'm walking around, setting everything up and just hanging out with my buddies, and people start showing up, and I'm like looking around, and no, a couple people, came up that I had talked to maybe once or twice,
Hmm.
but nobody once was like, "Oh, hey, you're the host. How is all this?" And I finally stand in the middle, and I'm starting to sort of explain like, "Hey, this is how we're gonna do everything." And I had a few people come up and like, "Hey, you're hosting this thing, right?" I was like,
I hope so.
yeah, yeah, I'm trying to anyway. And it was kind of nice. Like, is it cool, when you're out somewhere and someone's like, "Oh, hey, I watch your stuff." Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But my response, and I mean it not in a bad way, but my response every time is, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." Because the last thing I want to do, if someone's like, "I listen to your podcast," I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, thanks, man. That's awesome." I hope you like, I don't do that. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm sorry, dude. Hate you have to, listen to me ramble about stuff for 2 hours."
I don't. No, I don't say yourself short, man.
Well,
You
no, I
take.
mean, obviously I'm joking, right? But it's
Yeah.
like, I don't ever want to come off like the type that's, "Oh, look at me. I have this
No,
podcast,"
I think most people, well, which I've learned because I mean, I am a 6'3" dude. That's,
A
I
giant.
mean, I work out,
Okay.
and I mean, I'm.
Just
My
say
wife
it.
has
You're a
always
giant.
told me like you're an intimidating guy at times. I'm like, I'm just me. I can't help the way I look.
Yeah.
I am what I am, tatted up and stuff. I mean,
Yep.
so at the end of the day, I'm not. I am a super approachable person. Like anybody, like I'm welcome anybody come talk to me.
Yeah.
But the flip side of it, a lot of people that like I walked through the airport and I've been through here and there, and like I'm bigger than the average person anyway. So people stare at you a little bit and they go kind of like, wonder that guy's got he's a big dude with tats and stuff.
Yeah.
Wonder who he is. Wonder what he does.
That's you just look at them, smile and wave. And just be
Yeah,
like,
like
"Hey."
I was like, I do. I'm like, well, I don't. Hey, what's up? And they
Yeah.
won't, turn and look the other way or whatever. But I mean, I'm also been places where I'm just literally just standing there, and like, you can feel when somebody comes up next to you and, hey, man, what's up? Hey, you that guy on that hunting thing, ain't you? What you mean, man? Yeah, yeah. I mean, you on that hunting show, right? Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. You on that TV channel? Yeah, man. I did a little
It's the
bit of that.
best.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh man, I thought that was you. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
it's it's cool that people do that. I don't know. It again, I don't do it for that. I never have. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Of
it's just
course.
like this backwoods bucks and Bibles hunt. If only one person ever comes and I can make a difference in that person's life,
Yeah.
then I've done my job, man. Like that.
Yeah.
That's all. Like Davey, I mentioned earlier, we have always taught each other, hey man, we're just looking for one person that wants to listen, one person that we can make their life better. That's it.
Yeah.
So
See, you're doing it with the right intentions, and that, again, you're not looking for like the fame and fortune of it. You're not looking for the recognition. You
oh
just
gosh, man, if
you
I
want
was looking
people
for fame
to.
and fortune, I'd have punted the ball a long time ago.
Well, I just you're doing it for the right reasons,
Yeah,
like bringing people to not only experience what God created, but hear about him. You might have a guy show up that he's like, "Oh man, I'm just going to go hunt this farm. I don't care about no Bible." And then he shows
yeah,
up and you're preaching the word. I'm not going to say preaching, but you're giving him the
yeah.
word and you're kind of
Well, well,
talking to him about it. You could change his
yeah.
life. I mean,
Well,
you could literally introduce that man to the Lord and he never knew him.
well,
And now, you know,
I agree, man. And it's one of those things that I told my family this. I said, with this hunt, we're planting seeds.
yep.
I said, we're not expecting somebody to come in and then they're just going to listen to somebody, preach for an hour every day. I mean, this is come and hang out and we're going to share some stuff, just sit around a campfire and say, hey, y'all, thank y'all for being here. Um, this is why we did this hunt. And if, you take something away from it, that's awesome. If you tell your friends about it, that's awesome. We don't have any expectations other than we're going to open doors up for conversations. But it's also one of those things too. Us as men, you know, we want to be tough. We want to, Joby says this all the time. I've said it on podcasts and on his sermons that um, most dangerous words a man can say is, I got this.
Yeah.
Because you don't have this. Whether you think you do or not, you don't have this. God's got this. You know,
Yeah.
Jesus has got your plan. Like everything's laid out in front of you, and you just got to be faithful and obedient and listen. Don't think you got to handle everything on your own. And us as men, we feel like we got to carry the burden of our whole household, our families. things that you should never, you're not built for, you don't have to do.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have your trust in the right angles, not try to figure everything out yourself. And that's a very hard thing for me personally because
Yeah.
I want to have all the answers. I'm the one that's going to be like, okay, what is this? I'm going to look that up right now and see what AI says. And just all this stupid stuff that's man made that right, wrong, or indifferent, we don't have the answers for.
Yeah.
And again, I was going to tell this story on my podcast that I had difficulties on that I didn't get out there, but I was sitting in a ground blind years ago in Kansas because of uh, Jared Lott. He was videoing for me, and Jared and I got just talking. You know how you do? You sit in a stand with somebody, you just whatever. You're just killing time till a deer walks out. And
Yeah.
he goes, "Man, how do you deal with like the pressure to get a kill all the time?" And I was like, "Man, I've never really thought about that." He's like, "But the pressure I'm talking about because he videoed some of his hunts and tried to do TV thing a little bit too."
Yeah.
And I was like, man, yeah, I get it. You're working for these companies, you don't get kills, they don't resign. It's like your whole business model starts falling apart. You don't really know what to do. And I got to thinking about it more and more and more, and I went, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I said, I literally, we were sitting up blind. I told him, we had what I call a bro moment, and I'm just like, man, we've thought about some stuff right now. I'm not worried about it no more. I said, I don't care if I ever kill another deer.
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there right now. Like, dear Lord, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to have fun on my hunts. And if I stop having fun, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And that was years ago. Actually, it was it was the day Trump got elected for his first term.
Oh, wow.
So that's how many years ago
10
that
years
was.
ago. Just
And I
about.
said, I put that out there, and I was just like, man, I'm not even gonna worry about this anymore. I'm just gonna go have fun. I'm gonna go to hunting camps with people I like. I'm gonna enjoy this, what's supposed to be fun for me to do. And going back to that, and dude, since then, it's been like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, off to the races.
Well,
Here
I
we are.
mean, that's the thing. Like I've talked about, I did an episode a while back about like men's mental health, right? Where
Mhm,
we actually I did two of them where we talked about, like the pressure, right? And
mhm,
it's not just the hunting pressure. I mean, it's look, I'm a first time dad, first time husband. I don't know what I'm doing. I know I know right from wrong, but like
yeah.
that's as far as it goes. And I do feel like a lot of us guys really put a lot of pressure on ourselves because we want to be, like for me, as an example, Jess and I have talked about this before. Well, she'll come to me with a problem. And my thought is, okay, I'm going to give you a solution, right? And I'm stressing over the solution. I'm trying to figure it out. And she goes, I don't want an answer. I just want you to listen. That's the hardest thing in the world for me to do
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, I'll listen, but my mindset is if there's an issue, we fix it,
Yeah.
not just sit with it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and obviously it fixes itself or we do find a way to fix it. But I mean here lately, especially, you know, with the podcast and like the shoot that we just had, and then Tiffany's in volleyball now and she's getting older, like all these things are happening so quickly that I mean I really do feel the pressure. And then you talk about the hunting side of things, and it's
Mhm,
like with the partners, if you look at some of the people I'm working with, I must be the world's best salesman because there is nothing to my resume that's like, hey, I kill big deer, you know,
mhm,
and yet they're still willing to, give me a shot or whatever. And it's one of those things where you put the pressure on yourself,
mhm.
like you guys film your hunts.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if you have a season where you only kill two deer, but you've still got videos for people to watch, and you're like, hey, this one buck, he was smarter than we were, he outsmarted
Mhm.
us. People are going to watch that. That's
Yeah.
enjoyable because it's
And
relatable,
well,
you
and
know?
what's funny is I even thought about this a little while back, because I'm not knocking outfitters out there, and
Yeah.
trust me, I'll go hunting with an outfitter any day of the week, as long as I've kind of vetted them through the system.
Hmm.
But I've kind of gotten away from it just for the fact of I don't want any of that pressure either. Like when you go with
Yeah.
an outfitter, they're a lot of at least in the ones that we've been with, and I'll say I still hunt with outfitters, so I'm trying not to step on any toes when I say this, but in the past anyway, we've hunted with some that they expect you to give them the world, and you go deer hunting with them. You know what I mean? Like they just like these deer are made of gold and
Oh,
and
yeah.
and I mean, and okay, fair enough. They may be a hot commodity or whatever, but with where I'm at is I even thought about one year, one season for Backwoods Life. not to even hunt with any outfitters
Hmm.
and do everything in Georgia on our own land and show like our episode, our 13 season or 16 season episode, depends on what we decide to do, just showing, hey, this is what it's really like hunting in
Yeah.
Georgia, and this is what we do. Now, will people watch you? One episode might be planting food plots. I don't know if they will or not. They may not, you know. But I also thought there'd be a lot of people that sit out there and go, you know what? That's actually very relatable. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think like the hunting public.
Hmm.
They're always the go-to for me when I think about relatability because it's on public land and they don't always kill giant deer.
Hmm.
Like honestly, seeing, and this is just my own personal opinion, right? But seeing hunting shows where every single episode there's a giant falling, as cool as that is, it's not relatable.
Yeah.
And I fell into that when I first got into it. I was watching Seek One and Hunting Public and whoever else was out there, and I would just see these giant deer getting
Mhm.
shot all the time. So what do I think? Well, when I go in the woods, I'm going to shoot that too.
Yeah.
That was 7 years ago. I've seen them, but I haven't killed any.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, I've had some people ask me about the podcast. How do you keep going even though you're new to it, right? I'm not even a decade in yet of hunting, and the only answer I can give is that I'm honest when it comes down to what I will tell you. I'll tell you I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I'm doing. I can sit here and say, yeah, you need to hunt the funnels, you need to do this, you need to do that, hunt the wind, hunt thermals, blah 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 blah. Do I have the wall to prove that I know what I'm talking about? No,
Hmm.
but I try to make it as relatable as I can. And you guys do the same thing. I've watched y'all's stuff. That's why I enjoy it because it's relatable. Even when it's a guided hunt, it's still relatable because
Yeah.
there is no, like the old school stuff where the episode starts off and is like, we're out here in Saskatchewan with so and so outfitters and we're going to go kill this buck. And then they do it. And you're like,
Yeah.
what? It's that easy? And
And
it's
dude,
not.
and dude, I'm telling you right now, I hate that because I mean, and I'm not knocking it because a couple of them are on my wall back here. I've gone to outfitters and they're like, "This is the buck we're going to put you on." I don't want
Yeah.
that pressure. Like I don't, man. I
Yeah.
want you to be like, "Hey, man, we're going to put you in this stand, this spot. Our minimum is this, this age or this size or whatever their requirements are, and let me go deer hunting."
Yep.
And then when one walks out that fits the Uno card I got here, go, okay, that goes in the shooter list. I
Yeah.
want to shoot that deer. I don't want to be like, okay, this is, wide load 27. He's in this spot, 48 days in a row. He comes in here at 7 p.m. every day. Cause I'm
Yep.
sitting there the whole time on just amped up out of my mind. Oh my God, this I don't screw it up, man. They put me here to kill this deer.
Yep.
And dude, the outfitter put so much pressure on us like to do that. And I'm not saying just because we're videoing, but like even hunters in camp that like, hey man, I'm putting you in this spot to kill this deer. Well, and I've done it. I'm in several of these deer behind me. I've been to spots where guys like, hey, that's the deer that's going to come in here and you're going to kill him. And
Yeah.
and it worked out. But it could have just easily not worked out. So, but I don't want that pressure. Like I don't hunt for that reason. I
Yeah.
hunt just because I enjoy hunting and shooting. Like one of my favorite hunts that we do every year, it's the Buck Days hunt over for in Damascus, Georgia. It's for a
Mhm.
private school and it's their fundraiser. They sell these hunts and it's you get there on a I can't remember. I think we get there on a Thursday or Friday and you hunt Friday, Saturday. That's it. Excuse me. You hunt Friday and Saturday. And it's like 400, $500 for this hunt.
Yeah.
And you got to provide your own lodging. They feed you at the school and stuff. I mean, it's like this same people come to this hunt every year, but we hunt farms where there's no trail cameras. There's not even a deer stand out.
Oh wow.
They say, hey, y'all go hunt this piece right here. Like last year, my buddy Trey Weatherington and I, we've hunted together forever. And if you've watched Backwoods Life, you've seen Trey on there.
Yeah.
He he and I go over there and they said, okay, you guys, y'all have this piece of property, but you hunt on this left hand side of this road. This road goes all the way from the front of the back of the property. The whole left side of the property is y'all's. Cool. No deer stands. There's no
Yeah.
food plots. There's no feeders. They're just spots that they mow looking for Indian artifacts. And there's a bunch of acorn trees, live oak trees in these mowed areas.
Huh.
So I literally go in there the first day and I say, okay. I've done it 2 years in a row. First morning. I just go in there, me and my camera guy Jordan. we go in, we put a pop up blind up, and I say, okay, Jordan, I got this McQuarter rifle here. Shameless plug for McQuarter. Uh, I can shoot, theoretically, I've done it on their range 1,000 yards with this gun,
Sheesh.
and I'm sitting in this spot, and I can see 500 yards in this spot, and it's mowed, but
Yeah.
there's a ditch at the one end at 500 yards. There's a creek, big, almost really a river, on the left hand side, and it's all hardwoods. Then it comes uphill. There's Indian mounds, like literal Indian mounds over there. And then you see all these little flags on the video, and that's where they found like arrowheads and pottery and hatchets and stuff like that.
Great.
So they got all these little flags out here in this big moat area.
Yeah.
And we show up, I put a pop up blind in, we get in there and we go hunting. That's where we hunt for during this trip. And 2 years in a row, in those same spots, I've shot a buck. The first year it took me 30 minutes, and last year it took me an hour.
That's
And
wild.
one was a 10, and the other one was like a 8 with some trash. Um, the one I shot this past December, it was like a 140-inch buck, 140, basically 8 point with a kicker, 140-inch.
Good
And
Lord.
dude, all I do is go in there and say, okay, this spot looks like it should have a bunch of deer on it. These acorns
Yeah.
are falling. I can see. I'm rifle hunting.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, I don't know what's going to walk out. So that's an awesome hunt to me, because that
Yeah.
morning, dude, I bet we got in the blind. I had to sneak in the blind that morning right at daylight because there were deer already out in the moat area. And call me a wimp if you want to, but I'm not going in around the Indian mounds in the dark. I
Dude,
just ain't doing it.
when
I
you
don't.
said that, I was like,
I, I sneak in there right when I can see good at daylight.
yeah.
And we get there and there's deer all over the place. So we literally crawl on our hands and knees through these pines, sneak in the back of the blind. And there's the closest deer is probably 150 yards.
Yeah.
They don't even spook. They don't even see us. We just crawl in the blind, get in there. Okay, cool, we made it. And dude, it's just bucks and does. They're rutting like crazy. It's just a perfect time to be in the woods. But that's my whole point is that's a zero pressure hunt. And the people over there, they're like, yeah, shoot whatever you want to. Like we
Yeah.
don't have a size requirement, but of course we know there's good deer there, so we're gonna hold out. I shoot that 140-inch deer, and then Trey, I want to say it was the next afternoon, maybe he shot an 8 point. We moved that blind just 300 or 400 yards in a different direction. He shot another 8 point, and I think that deer was 22 inches wide inside,
Holy
just a
crap.
giant wide 8 point, and he killed him coming in there. Like, but we couldn't. We're not with an outfitter. We don't have trail cameras out.
Yeah.
We're literally going and putting a blind up. We're hunting natural acorns, like we talked
Yeah.
about. We're going to come full circle with this podcast. They're hammering the acorns, and it's
Yeah.
rut on top of that. So all these does are going to feed under these acorn trees, and all these bucks are coming chasing these, checking and chasing all these does because of what? The acorns. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Sounds like a little bit of heaven right there.
It,
But you have
dude, it's
Indian
an
Mountain, so I don't know.
It's an awesome place.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Like when I've talked to people about, outfitted hunts. The only time I'd probably ever do an outfitted hunt would be out west. And even then, if I got an outfitter and they were like, all right, we're gonna put you over this water hole, shoot this one muley that, he's, I don't know, 30 inches wider. Let's just talk something big, right?
Yeah.
And that to me kind of takes the fun out of it, because I like finding the deer. I like
It's still
going to
fun,
it.
man. It's still fun. Don't get
Oh
me
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
It's
But
still
I'm
fun.
saying like I guess the challenge part of it,
Yeah.
of finding the deer.
Yeah.
And I'm not
I-
knocking it, right? I've never really done it, so I could be completely wrong. But
Yeah.
just the thought of it, it's like I would, like you were saying, you have basically permission to be on this property.
Mhm.
You're gonna find the right spot. You're gonna set up, and you're gonna kill whatever walks out. That
Yeah.
to me sounds like a really good time.
That is a great hunt, and this place is insane with deer. Like there's you'll see so many deer, so many bucks,
Yeah.
and it's the right time of year to see them too because of the acorns falling in the rut. And but take what you're saying. Say you want to go out west and kill a giant mule deer. Well, until I don't know, I killed my first mule deer. I didn't know anything about mule deer hunting. So if you were to turn me loose out there and go like, "Hey man," especially with a bow, go kill them, because I tried mule deer hunting with a bow for 2 years before I ever killed one. And
Really?
I still have not killed a mule deer with my bow. Just
It's
because,
that
well,
hard.
well, it was one of those, like I was in Colorado and it's all that is spot and stalk. And
Oh yeah.
I had like the worst luck. Like we'd have no wind, or dude, I've got some of the crazy stories on that. Like I had airplanes fly over during a stalk and spook all the deer. I had a guy decide he wanted to set his barn on fire and spooked all the deer when stuff started blowing up in the barn. I don't know. It was like you can't make this stuff up. It was so bad during like a 3 day, 4 day mule deer hunt. And then
Ew.
finally I went back out there with a muzzleloader. In Colorado, you have no scope and granular powder. And so I finally killed one with that. The third, I think it was the third try I did, second or third try, I can't remember. And then that outfitter, we kind of parted ways. He made some bad life decisions.
Mm,
But then I reconnected with my buddy Matt Hicks in Texas that I hunt with now for mule deer. Well, we were out there whitetail hunting and we just ran across each other and we were actually whitetail hunting with him. We go back to this main lodge and I see some mule deer racks up there or mounts up there. And I go, hey man, where do these come from? Well, they come off this canyon right here. Well, do y'all do mule deer hunts? Well, we only do like 2 or 3 a year.
yeah.
Y'all have anybody? No, you want to do it? Sure. And so we've been going out there every year, for like the last 4 or 5 years mule deer hunting. And I did kill one. I killed a 185 out there, which is he's on my wall in here in the other room. But
Yeah.
that deer, that was one that I was talking about. Though Matt was so fired up for us to shoot that deer because that's the largest deer that's ever been shot on that property.
Yeah.
But he was like, all right, dude, you got to get in there. You got to. I mean, he just had me so amped up. I was like, dude, you're gonna make me miss the deer, and you're not even gonna be hunting. You know?
Yeah,
But,
that I mean, again, I'd have to do it to have a like full opinion, you
yeah.
know. Um, but again, I that's the only time. I mean, I'd probably never do like a fully outfitted whitetail hunt just because you can do that here. Unless someone's like, "Hey, we're going to Saskatchewan. There's 200
Well,
inchers, maybe."
I agree with you, and I get 100% where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that, if it's so different when you go to other states whitetail hunting, like
Hmm.
the terrain's different, the hunting's different, the deer are different. Like you don't you can take a lot. I will say this, say your 7 acres you got right there. Like if you can
Yeah.
kill a deer with your bow on 7 acres of tough hunting there in Georgia, you can go other states and you're probably gonna be pretty successful. But the flip side is, the advantage that you have going with an outfitter is they've taken that learning curve out to the fact where they at least get you in the ballpark. And
True.
I've hunted Iowa several times, and the last 2 times I've hunted Iowa, it was with gun season, and I went with Paul Fountain out there. And Paul's an awesome guy. He's killed some giant deer,
Hmm.
but he's got a bunch of property, and you would dig this hunt because Paul's one that like you go and he takes you to this farm and he says, if you draw a bow tag, you can hunt entire bow season if you want to. You draw a gun tag, you can hunt the entire gun season. It's not like a 2 day hunt, not a 4 day hunt. It's the whole season.
Yeah.
So you could literally go live in Iowa until you killed your deer if you want to. But he takes you to this farm and goes, okay, man, this is your farm. You know, he doesn't tell you how big a deer to shoot. He says you can shoot really, just try to shoot a mature buck, whatever you want to shoot.
Yeah.
And he says, if I were you, I would put a stand on this point in the bottom of this field right here. Like that's a good spot. And it turns you loose. You can go do it yourself the
Dude, that'd be
whole
so much
season out
fun.
there.
That'd be
And
great. And like,
yeah.
let me ask you this. So
Mhm.
with with guided hunts, right? Because my mind, when I think of a guided hunt, I think of like almost like a high fence hunt without a high fence. You get what
Nah.
I'm saying? Where it's like they're like, okay, this stand, this stand has this buck. He's coming in these days of the week.
Mm.
We've named him Sparky or something. You know, like just I'm trying to frame it where I'm not talking down on guided hunts because I don't mean to.
Yeah.
But the idea I have is like you show up, they show you the deer, they say he'll be here at 7:30 the next morning, you go and kill him. I mean,
No.
is that
Well,
accurate or no?
no. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to say that doesn't happen because there are places that can happen. Like these people have their deer dialed in enough. Um, they've got enough land. They've just so low pressure that the deer show up. Um, I'm not going to say there's nowhere like that because I've
Yeah.
been to some places literally, and I've had guys said that's the deer you're going to kill, and I hunt that morning. I didn't see him that evening. He comes out and I killed him.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just these guys doing their homework, man. Like it's no different than you going to your property and see having that deer show up on your camera every day, going, okay, well, I'm going to go kill this deer, and there he walks out and you kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's no different than that. It's just you're the one pulling the trigger instead of them.
I
But
gotcha.
but also there's places where, hey man, I'm going to put you in this piece of property and you're going to go hunt this lock on in the morning in the middle of these oak trees in Illinois, and you're bow hunting, and yeah, this is a deer that's in here, but man, I can't. There's no guarantee he's going to come in bow range. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's no guarantee you're going to see him at all. But he's on this property. You know,
Yeah.
he might go by this other guy that's hunting, 1,000 yards from you. I mean, that's more realistic than the misconception of an outfitter having all of them on. Like, okay, you're just going to pay me this check. And now, don't be wrong. Like, there are places like that. If you got a big enough check, you can do whatever you
Oh
want
yeah.
to do. You
Yeah.
know,
I
and,
mean,
and and hey, more power to you if you're the guy that's got that check and want to do it, then
yeah.
go for it.
I mean, I might be a hypocrite because I did tell someone the other day that if I ever did just have a ton of play money, one of the things I would do just to experience it would be to go hunt like a big high fence
Yeah,
just to see,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
But I also wouldn't go around and be like, oh, look at this 388-inch deer that
yeah,
I shot.
yeah.
He was free range. And then you see the ear tag and it's like,
Well, that's the thing with most people. Like, they want to. And have I hunted high fences? Yes, I have. I've hunted some stuff years ago that I'm like, how did I get into this situation? And I'm like, I'm out of here. I mean,
yeah,
and it wasn't by me. It was like I was a guest of somebody, and I just, I mean, I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus or anything, but it's just kind of like, man, this is just not my cup of tea. But
yeah,
also, I went to a high fence in Texas years ago now, and um, I hunted, golly, I hunted like 3 or 4 days. And I saw like 4 bucks the whole time and probably 15 does. And
yeah.
I shot a 8 point that when he walked out, he came out, he's the only deer I saw that afternoon. And that's it. Here for the high fence haters out here. This is what this was. Sitting in there, high fence, 8 point comes out. I take a picture of the deer and I text it to the landowner. And he said, shoot that deer. He's 7 or 8 years old. Dude, I shot this deer, dropped him right there. I went out there and got him. And I cut his antlers off and put them in my suitcase and when I flew home.
Wow.
I mean, this deer was like
Little.
a 12-inch wide 8 point.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, the landowner said to kill him, so I did.
Yeah.
And then he was the guy. I was super excited. Which, I mean, I'm thankful. I mean, he let me come out there and go hunting and all that. But it's kind of like, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
You hear the word high fence, you think, oh, dude, I'm going to sit on this big green field. The feeder's going to go off. There's going to be 20 bucks come out here, and I'm just going to pick out
Yeah.
which one I want to shoot. No, bro. No.
Well, in like Texas,
Yeah.
I've heard about Texas high fence where the piece of property is bigger than some counties. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that to me, I if somebody told me that they hunted a high fence and they killed a, let's just say a 300 incher, right?
Mhm.
We'll stick with the stereotype, but it's on 100,000 acres, dude. To me, you still did something, unless he was up against that fence trying to get
Yeah.
out and you just caught him.
Yeah,
Like
but see, you got to think about this, man. That deer don't know what side of the fence he's on,
exactly,
and the deer on the outside used the fence just like the deer on the inside.
that's true.
Because Brantley had a high fence in Alabama,
Yeah,
and I didn't. I did shoot some deer over there. We shot some management deer, just
yeah.
old deer, cull deer, whatever you want to call them. And we took a bunch of guys. And our biggest thing is like we would take veterans over there. I mean, we had guys that we had to push them around their wheelchairs, and we were running like crazy trying to get them on a deer. I mean,
Did you guys video this?
oh yeah, we've got episodes
Okay,
on
I
YouTube.
know what you're talking about. I've
Yeah,
watched that video.
yeah. And I
Okay.
mean, it's insane. Like, because I mean, we're giving back to these guys that gave almost everything. Like, literally, they gave their bodies and almost
Yeah.
their lives for our country. And I don't give a crap what anybody says. I'll take those guys if they want to hunt in a 5 acre fence with 700 deer in there. I'll take them right now. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these guys earn the right to do that. But so we're taking guys over there, and after that hunt we get done, Brandon's like, "Hey man, let's go shoot some cold deer." And dude, I mean, it's not easy. It's not like we're just shooting everything that walks out and
Yeah.
finding a cold deer. And even in his 500 acre high fence was kind of hard to do. But we also would hunt the proper like the property line he had his high fence on. You would sit there because we just like to shoot long range down that fence. Like you could see a
Yeah.
mile. And you would see more deer on the outside than you would inside because they would walk out and just feed down that fence where just the ground was cleared and grass was growing or whatever.
That's so
And
crazy.
but I mean that's the thing. Like, okay, what side do you want to hunt on? Like you're hunting a fence
Yeah.
either way.
I
That
think
deer
people just
that deer don't know.
they just get a bad like I and I've said it before in the past too. Like
Mhm.
I've talked crap on high fence hunting, but it's
Yeah.
only when somebody tries to act like, you know, they hunted like 100-acre high fence where
Hmm.
there's way too many deer. And the only
Yeah.
reason that they're not starving is because they feed them, and
Yeah.
they charge crazy prices to shoot some
Yeah.
freak of nature. That's where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't really agree with that.
I'm
You
with
know?
you on that, man. Like I don't like the crazy genetic manipulation. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I've always said this, and I'll stick by it. Like in the state of Georgia, you can have a high fence, but it has to be, I think 600 or 640 acres
Mhm.
minimum. But and you can't bring deer in. You can't, you can't buy deer and put them in there. Like you can build the fence and shut the gate, and the DNR ride around there, check everything, sign off on it, and that's it. You shut the gate. That's it.
Really?
So whatever you got is what you got. So
Huh.
I've always said in Georgia, if I ever had the means to do that and the land to do that, which that's not really looking good in my favor for this point in my life, but
Same
I
here.
would do that in Georgia just because I would love to see what, like, my family farm, which we don't have enough land, but you did that just to see what we could grow. Like
Yeah.
how great of a deer could we grow on our property? Because the problem you got is, you get too many deer, or like you said, you got $20 on your property before the season comes in, and then during the rut, like
They're
90% of them are
gone.
gone. And you might get
Yeah.
a neighbors flipping through. These chickens are like fire ants, man. You stir up the fire ants, they just go everywhere. Same thing
Hmm.
during the rut. These bucks are all over the place, man. I read something the other day. A buddy sent me, said one went like 10 miles or 20 miles or something like that, that Georgia tracked or something. But the
Yeah.
whole point is, like, you can't let that deer get to his full potential, if you will. I would just do it just for, it's basically like a
Just an experiment.
rich man science experiment to see
Yeah.
if, what it would look like. At the end of the day, do I care? No, not really. But it would be fun to manage them, just to see what you could, pull the rabbit out of the hat, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, if I had, stupid money, I'd definitely do something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Have a deer farm. I don't even know if I'd hunt them, honestly,
No,
because
I
I just
couldn't.
like watching them, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I, there is something cool to me when I see, because I've looked it up. I've looked up like the world record, what is it, SCI high
Mm-mm.
fence
Yeah.
whitetails, like 600 inches.
That's just ignorant,
It,
man.
well, it is. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I guess cool that happened, but you see the deer and he can't even lift his head. And
Yeah.
it's like, all right, that's too
Yeah.
much to me.
Not the
But it would
deer's
be cool to
fault.
see, if you
Yeah.
took like out here, in Covington, right? I
Hmm.
think the biggest county record I've seen within 30 minutes of my house was 217. And that's a
That's a
free
huge
range.
deer.
Like that's a
That's a
really good deer.
huge deer. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you took 600 acres out here and you fenced it off with whatever is living on that property and you
Hmm.
give it 10 years, what can you grow? Can you
Yeah.
grow something bigger than the state record? I don't know.
Well,
Maybe.
what's funny is, so the property that we lease, it's over in kind of, I don't know, southeast Georgia, I guess the best way to put it. The landowner that we rent from, he found a deadhead on our property.
Hmm.
And he sent me a picture of it, and the deer scored I don't know how, mid 170s, which I mean, I don't care where you're at. A 170 is a big deer,
Yeah.
especially Georgia, especially southeast Georgia.
Yeah.
And the thing with it is, like, the biggest deer we've taken off that property since we've had it is like 143. So I mean, just because
Still a
there
good
has
deer.
been one there doesn't mean there's ever going to be another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
That's the thing.
I heard a rumor, and maybe you can tell me because it's more your neck of the woods. But I heard a rumor that that kid that killed the 211 last year that was in South Georgia. Did you hear about that?
Um, you fill me in right quick.
I forget the kid's name, but there was a kid in South Georgia that killed a 211-inch buck in a county that's never had a 200.
Hmm.
And he was saying like, "Oh, I can't believe it." I mean, I heard him. He was on oh god, he was on some podcast. I don't remember which one it was, but he was talking about it, telling the story. And then I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently there was a high fence deer.
Do you know what county
And
that was?
I could look it up if you give me a
I
minute.
mean, yeah.
Let me look that up.
But
Because
I think I've heard about that deer, but I don't know, man, because there's a lot of counties in Georgia where I would, I'm not going to say it's nothing's impossible, because deer are deer, and
yeah,
they're free range deer, never know. They cross a county line, and all of a sudden that county that never had a 200's got a 200 now.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, I don't, there's just some counties I would say there's no way. I just don't think it's like genetically and natural to have that in some of
yeah.
these counties. Like if you told me they kill that deer in like Eccles County, I'd say that's almost impossible because that's just one of those that's all pine trees and sand. And they run dogs, so I mean, it just the
Oh
deer just
man,
don't get the time
that's
to
too much
grow
stress
into
on
big
them.
deer. Now, if you said that's a county around our farm, family farm, because I mean we've had 180s, 190s killed in our county, but have we ever killed one? No, we've never broke 170. We've killed some
Yeah,
60s, um, 50s and 60s, 40, 50, 60s, and that's no, not that's not super common, but 40s and 50s, we could probably kill one of them every year if we tried. But some of the places in Georgia, like, if you say like Worth County or Dooley County or Cook County, Doherty, it's all along the Flint River. There's a lot of big deer.
yeah. Well, and then you get in Atlanta, and it's like
Oh, yeah.
they're
So many
everywhere.
deer. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know what's up with that. No, so I found his name. It doesn't say the county. His name's Colin Chandler. That ring any
I
bells?
think I've heard about it.
Yeah, it says I'm trying to find where it's at. I don't know what county it was. I know it was South Georgia. And
Yeah.
but see what's funny is I'm looking at all this and nowhere on here does it say anything about it being a high fence. I've seen pictures of it. There's no ear tag, and it really
Yeah.
doesn't look like a
Well,
high fence buck to me.
yeah. And who
So,
knows, man? Like, you know how it is too. I mean, every deer I kill and put on social media, I was in a high fence. It don't matter if it was a 120-inch 8 point. I mean, that people, everything I shoot's on high fence. Just look, man. You go look at the comments. Oh, it must be nice hunting them high fence deer. I'm like, man,
yeah,
I don't.
I hope I can get there one day where I just kill something nice and someone's like, "Oh, it was a high fence, wasn't it?" I'm gonna mess with them. Like, "Yeah, it was
Yeah,
actually. Here's the ear
yeah,
tag," and just never do anything.
yeah.
Can you hear the craziness going on upstairs right now?
No,
Dude, I don't know if my dog just fell or my kid just fell, but there was a huge thump up there.
that ain't
And
good.
now my pug is going crazy. So I don't
Uh-uh.
know what's happening, but I'm glad you can't. Oh my God.
I heard something there,
What is
barking or something.
yeah. She likes to bite. I don't know what her problem
Uh,
is.
mm.
Well, whatever. Anyway. Um, yeah, I don't know. Georgia's an interesting one for me because like I I I know we can get big deer here, you
Mhm,
know? Like I know one of the counties I hunt, the record is like 195, I think.
mhm.
And he's a crazy looking deer. But you don't see that much. I mean, there's rumors every single year. You know, like we have a water authority hunt. Someone claimed they killed a 200. I've never seen it. I think the
Mhm.
biggest I've seen of there was like 177 a few years back.
Yeah,
Um, there was a 200 killed out in Greensboro a few years ago. Like we have them, but unless you're
yeah.
around Atlanta, I don't really think you've got much of a shot. And that's fine. Like that's the hard part for me. Or it was a hard thing to deal with was like listening to all the hunting content we have. There's
Mhm.
so much more Midwestern and Northern and all of
Yeah.
that where everyone's like, oh yeah, I got this 180 and I'm sitting here like mine's 120,
Yeah, dude, like
you know?
that's what I tell people all the time. You got to have realistic expectations on where you're
Yeah.
hunting. Like you can't kill a 200 if there's not a 200 to kill. And that's going back to just having fun with it. That's where like I told you earlier. I've never been one that's like if I have a big deer on camera, like definitely will hunt the deer. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like, oh, he's on camera, that's cool, or whatever. I don't care. But I mean, I'll go hunt that area or whoever, my dad, my family, friends. And maybe we get him, maybe we don't. Most of the time we don't. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, we got several deer that are really nice deer over the years that we get one picture of, and we go sitting
Yep.
there and we never see him. And he just was passing through one day,
You
But
always bet on the deer.
yeah, I
Always.
mean, you just go hunting and you see what I would rather have. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because I do like hunting big deer. Like if I have I wish I had more property that had big deer on them to get more excited about hunting big
Yeah.
deer. Or at
I
least I
mean, look
knew I
behind you. I think you like hunting big deer.
well, I mean, how about not? I've shot a bunch of big deer. How's that? There's big difference between shooting a bunch of big deer and hunting a bunch of big deer.
That's true. That's true.
Because I mean, I would say everything that you can see behind me right here, with the exception of maybe some of the antler mounts on the wall, um, have not been from Georgia. That's for
That's
sure. Well,
okay.
actually, most of the antler mounts are not from Georgia either. So
Look, you drove there, you put in the work,
yeah,
you
I
hunted
mean,
big deer
yeah.
and you shot them. It's a
That
yes
well,
and
that's true.
situation.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like the one you can see kind of right where
Oh,
yeah,
dude, yeah, he
he's
keeps
right,
catching my eye.
kind of
You
right
talking about
there.
right?
That guy right there.
I dude, I'm over here gonna point like, yeah, that one right
Yeah.
there.
But that one I just pointed at there, like he's a mainframe 9. I shot him with my bow coming
Huge.
to a decoy on the second time he came to the decoy. So I
So
mean, It,
Crazy.
did I hunt that deer? No, I just was in the right bean field the right afternoon. He was tending a doe. I grunted at him. He did nothing. I rattled to him. He looked over there. I snort wheezed at him. He made a loop downwind of the decoy. Didn't like it. Ran off. I snort wheezed at him again. He made a loop. That time he came 35 yards instead of 50 yards, and I drilled him, and he went 100. I didn't even go 100 yards and piled up dead. I watched him die.
I
But
love hearing
that's
that.
my point. Did I go hunt that deer? Like, oh my gosh, I got to go hunt this buck, this buck, this buck. No,
Yeah.
I was at the right place at the right time. That's the way most of everything you see in here was right place at the right time.
Yeah. See, I'm still waiting for that because this whole hunting big deer thing is getting a little old. It's a little stressful. No, I mean, that is an interesting way to, I guess, or an interesting thing to think about because I'll spend all year, and the more I've done it, the less actually I've really put in the stress in like February. Basically now from February to May,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say I don't care. Like obviously I care,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of like, why am I gonna be spending this time and money when I can't even go and try to hunt them, you know? Now, that doesn't mean I'm not doing some preparatory stuff. Like I'm still gonna put a food block out and I'll keep them fed, I'll keep them around, cameras are running, but
Mm-hmm.
when I start really getting like I guess okay, I need to start planning stuff is late May into June when they start showing antlers and you can kind of tell who's who and
Yeah.
start remembering now. It's like, all right, last year this one gave me the runaround. Like I got a buck right now. Same property that I was telling you about earlier that he stuck around for the most part, but I changed his name. My daughter named him what is it? Elmer. Just random name, right? And he was a mainframe 10 with two kickers last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this year he's the same thing, but now he's starting to look like a little version of the general. And so I've named him the Little General because he's now probably a 130-inch deer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, he's getting bigger. And that type of stuff I enjoy. Am I gonna kill him? I don't know. I almost killed him 2 years ago, but he was lucky. I'll just
Well,
say that.
I'll put it this way: I'll stop naming deer
Oh, I can't.
altogether.
I can't.
And the reason I stopped is because either one, they would disappear, the neighbors
Yeah.
would kill them, or I would find them dead if they had a name. When I stopped naming them, I they're just that deer. So like we've got so many 8 points. I mean, like we sit around camp like, hey y'all know that wide 8 point. Which one? The wide one. You know what I mean? Oh, what about that
Yeah.
8 point? Like we've got so many 8 point, everything's 8 point. I just tell everybody like, look, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
don't if you want to name them, you can name them whatever you want to. And my buddies that hunt with me, and our whole lease situation is kind of weird because I've got land by myself. I've got land with other guys, and I got land with other guys, and they're all joined, and we're all like this big community. But the one group of my buddies, they name every deer. Oh, that's so and so. I'm like, bro, I don't know what your deer
Yeah.
names are. I don't want to know what your deer. Like that's that. And they know every deer, and like they're
Yeah.
like they're like in velvet with like nubs growing out. Oh, that's so and so. I'm like, how do you even know what deer that is?
That's me, dude.
Um,
That's
but
totally
and
me.
that's all right. But at the end of the day, like I've just had so much bad experience with naming deer
Yeah.
because it's like, hey, we're not going to shoot so and so this year, and then he's gone, like he's dead or gone, or you know what I mean. I had
Why you gotta
and
say
what
that?
broke it up for me is I had a deer. I say we had a deer. He was a 10 point with kickers on both G2s,
Hmm.
and he was 3.5. And I think we named him like Kicker 10 or whatever. And this deer was on camera as a 3-year-old every morning and every evening. Like like if the sun came up and went down, he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And dude, we did not hunt him on purpose. And this is probably 130, 140-inch deer. And we are just like, all right, he's 3.5. Next year, he's gonna be an absolute giant. And we didn't hunt him. Didn't hunt him. We just like we're not even gonna go to that stand in case he shows up. We just want to
Yeah.
retempt it. On December 23rd, a doe walks in front of the trail camera. He's behind that doe. We never saw him again. Never got a picture of him again. And this deer, we'd had him on every morning and every evening. And he was close to our south property line. Like he wasn't, it was
Yeah.
close enough where if he pushed that doe off, then he could go missing. You know what I mean? And I said, after that, I said, y'all know what? I'm done with this. Like, I'm not going to just pass deer to pass deer. Um, my only rule is on my lease property anyway, for the most part, if it's an 8 point and 3.5 and older, and you want to kill him, kill him. If he's a 10 point, just make sure he's 5. That's it.
So that's a really good segue, I guess, into how we can sort of wrap this up. Going
Mm-hmm.
back to the thing you're doing in October. What's the rules for that? Say I do come up there. All
Yeah.
right. And I'm like, Michael, all right, look, man, thank you for letting me come here.
Mm-hmm.
I drove probably 3.5 hours, however long it is. The wife, I had to do a lot of work to make her come down here.
Yeah.
A lot of foot rubs in my future, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Back rubs, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what can I shoot? What would the answer be? What are you
You
going to
want
allow people
to,
to take
are you going
down
to
there?
gun hunt or bow hunt?
Do you know me? Come on. Bow hunt, of course.
um, Man, I probably my first question would be like, hey, what's the biggest deer you've ever shot?
Well, a 102.
102.
102.
Our goal is 103.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. That's my goal every year. So
Mm-hmm.
fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. I like it.
Yep.
Because the
And
thing is, like, when people come hunt, like I've had people come hunt with me and they're like, what can I shoot? What can't I? And I'm like, well, and this was years ago, and now it'd be different. But years ago, I was like, I got one deer. If
mm-hmm.
you shoot that deer, I will not lie to you. I'm gonna be a little upset because I've been hunting them this whole time. Now I wouldn't be that way.
Nah, I've
You
never
know what I'm
been that
saying?
guy. Like if I invite you to hunt with me, I don't target one specific deer.
Yeah.
If he shows up in front of you, I'm gonna be just as happy, or probably happier, honestly, that somebody that appreciated a lot
Yeah.
will take that deer. Um, and the reason I ask is gun or bow, because if you're gonna sit there with a bow, I'm gonna have the rifle just in case.
In
Because if
case I make a bad shot.
one of them upper echelon bucks that we don't
Oh,
get a few see very often walks out down there and be like, hey, but if you're not going to shoot this deer with this rifle, I will.
yep. I could
But
literally see both of
yeah.
us in the stand, and you tap
Mhm.
my shoulder and you're like, hey, 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 we got a big giant behind us. Well, I'm drooling over like a 180 or something. You're like, hey, look behind you real quick. Next thing I know, and I'm almost falling out of the stand. And I'm like, what happened? You're like, I don't know. Finger just trigger slipped.
No,
Something
I'll at
happened.
least give you the chance, like, hey, are you going to shoot him with this rifle or not? And if you say no, then I'm gonna be
Oh,
like, here we go.
yeah. Is
Watch
it
this.
bad? Is it bad? I would tell you to take him.
No, that's your choice, man.
Okay.
That's your choice.
There's something about it, dude. Like I've
Mhm.
said this a million times. I have nothing against rifle hunting or
Yeah.
anything like that. I don't care what someone uses. If it's legal, use it.
Yeah.
But I've been invited actually on a buddy's property as a guest where he sent me a picture of this deer, and it's one of the biggest deer I've ever seen. And I was like, dude, I will definitely come and hunt that. And he said, he's like, you can't bring the bow. I was like, well,
Hmm.
gonna have to pass then. Because I just know, when I'm driving for work, when I'm driving down I-20 or 85 and I'm thinking about life,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna think back and be like, man, I really would have liked to take that with the bow. It's not that I wouldn't appreciate it or anything, but for me, it's kind of like a challenge thing. Like if I
Yeah.
have a buck on my wall right now that I never killed. It was a gift to me. And he's kind of like the goal. Every single
Mhm.
year I look at him like that's what I want to do. I want to kill something that size or better.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of be the same thing, you know?
Yeah. And I get that, man. And I respect that because, I've shot a bunch of really, really nice deer with a bow, like more than I've ever should have been able to. Um, but the flip side to me is I still enjoy the hunt
Hmm.
and getting it done, no matter what the weapon is now. Because I mean, and I had some shoulder problems a while back, and it just really hurt a lot to draw back a bow. So I hunted with a crossbow.
Yeah.
Of course, I catch crap for that because you know how that goes. But
Yeah,
the flip
whatever.
side is like, hey, instead of me just taking my rifle, and obviously I can't take a rifle in bow season, I just
Yeah.
crossbow hunted it, and I actually killed. I've shot two, I think two or three bucks with a crossbow. I can't remember. And now there's some really really nice bucks, but I've
Hmm.
shot three. That's right. But the flip side of that is, did I have fun? Absolutely. Did I enjoy
Yeah.
the hunt? 100%. Am I proud of them? Yes. But you're right. It's not the same. It's
Hmm.
not. It's not the same. But I will say this: growing up hunting in Georgia, and I'm coming from with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where, especially in South Georgia, you're never going to get a shot at that deer with a bow. It's just not going to happen.
Why?
because you may only ever see them one time.
Yeah, good point.
Uh,
That is true.
yeah, like on my family farm, I was there. There's several deer that we have killed that we've seen, like have seen them grow up.
Yeah,
But there's more than that. The big deer that we've killed, we've seen them one time.
and that's when you shot him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And sometimes it might be we didn't see that deer until January. Like we didn't even know he existed
Dang.
because we have late season food, really good late season food sources for them.
Yeah.
And when they come off of that, I mean, even December, Christmas, my wife's killed some great deer on our family farm at Christmas, but it's all because we have the food sources. And it's also getting to that time of the year too, where, man, they're slick on that stick and string by that time of the year. You gotta kind of make it happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own. I'm not gonna knock it because my goal this year is to shoot at least one of my bucks in Georgia with my bow. I mean, that's one of my goals this year.
Well, you know the best time to do that.
Yeah, whenever he
95-degree
walks out.
weather, baby.
No, whenever he walks out.
Well, yeah, but you get him on
No.
that pattern. Dude, there's something, and we'll wrap it up with this, but
Yeah.
there is something about early season bow hunting in Georgia. Like you were saying, you can pattern them. You can get them
Mhm,
most of the time. Now, mind you, I say that I couldn't do it last year, right? But there
mhm.
have been times. I mean, one of the deer I was chasing a few years ago, he was in there every single day. And I somehow slipped in and I almost killed him.
Mhm.
Thank God for that hurricane, or I never would have seen him, is
Yeah.
my opinion. But you can
Mhm.
get them on a pattern where you're like, if I can slip in here, he's gonna show up.
Yeah.
But then,
You
at least in my experience around here, once it starts hitting, I don't know, second week in November, I feel like you kind of just have to get lucky.
I will say 100% the hardest thing to do is to kill a big mature buck with your bow during the peak of the rut.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to hunt the rut, but it's I hate bow hunting the rut.
Yeah, so do I.
And no matter what state I go to, I've been I've been to some of the meccas out there and seen absolute giants with a bow in my hand and Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, and go, well, that was cool. I saw a 180 today, and there he went. You
Yeah.
know,
Because they
and
don't stop.
there he's on a doe. He's not. He doesn't. He gets zero craps about anything but that doe. And even like Kansas, you can hunt over bait in Kansas. That doe could come in there and eat corn, but he wouldn't come in. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just they know what they're doing. They're big mature deer. You're right. The best time to kill a big deer with your bow is early season and late season. Early season is good because you can pattern them, but you got to have the
Hmm.
weather right. Late season is good, but they're really really spooky then, and you lost a lot
Yeah.
of cover.
Well, and the deer in Georgia are just spooky in general.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've gone all over the place. So I'm sure you could probably say like, oh, they're worse here than they are here. Deer are
Nope.
just spooky in general.
Nope. No,
But
I mean South. I'll say Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, like that. You can kill deer. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
they are different animals than Texas and Iowa. And I mean, not knocking any of the guys in all these Midwest states or whatever. Y'all, I mean, hunt your big deer and kill them. I'm proud of you. I wish I had the luxury of hunting. Every day of bow season in Iowa. I would love it. It'd been awesome.
that'd be fantastic. I want to
But
go to Ohio. I'd rather go
oh,
there.
I've shot a bunch of big deer in Ohio. It's fun because guess what? You can hunt over corn.
Yeah. It's
So
just like Georgia, but
and
colder.
I know guys up there, and I'm not going to say anybody's names, but they have killed some absolute giant deer, like multiple 200-inch deer, and how they kill them early bow season, sitting on a corn pile,
Yeah.
100%. They
If
like
it's
you said, they
legal,
pattern them.
yeah, if it's
Mhm.
legal, I ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been
I'm with you.
baiting since day one.
Yeah.
Like I started a year after it became legal, I think.
Hmm.
And I've only ever hunted without bait on public land. And
Hmm.
that's where I get humbled, honestly. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I thought I knew what I was doing. Nope. I went to a spot last year that had a ton of sign. Now, granted, it was really hot,
Mhm.
but I felt good about it. I was sitting over some rubs. There was a scrape probably 40 yards away. It was perfect, but it just was too hot. They weren't moving.
Yeah.
And I mean, but the biggest deer I've ever seen on the hoof was on public land. It's
Yeah.
160-inch 10 points. So
Hmm.
it like we were saying before, it just you kind of have to sometimes get lucky,
Yeah.
And
100%,
you
dude.
could do all the right things and see nothing. You could do all the wrong things and see the biggest
Mhm.
deer of your life.
My dad says luck is when preparation and opportunity meet.
Yep.
That's all there is to it.
God, dude. I'm so excited for deer season. Well, look, man, Thank you for coming on. This was a much longer podcast than I thought we would do, but I had a great time.
All good, man.
So before we wrap it up, why don't you give everyone a shameless plug? Say again where you can find how to sign up for the hunt. I think I've got elephants in my house. I don't know what they're doing. It's like a couple of T-Rexes
They're
fighting up
having
there.
fun
So
up there, man. They're
pray
having a
for
party
me.
without you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either that or they're hyping the dogs up, and I'm gonna go up there and everything's gonna be on the floor.
Maybe your wife just tried to redecorate and rearrange furniture while you were doing this. And
Yeah, she needs to do it a different way. They're not horses. We got a pit bull and a pug. Those two,
Oh,
it won't mix. But anyway, give us a shameless plug for
yeah.
Backwoods Life and where they can sign up for that hunt, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, y'all go check out backwoodslife.com or just go to any search engine, AI, whatever you want to type in Backwoods Life. We'll come up. We're on every social media platform out there. We got stuff dropping on YouTube at least once or twice a week. Just go out there and check out our stuff. If you're interested in the hunt at all, Backwoods Bucks and Bibles, go to leaffarmbrand.com. Leaffarmbrand.com. Man, really, really would like that to turn into something. But at the end of the day, if only one or two people show up, that's fine. That's all we need.
Dude, that's awesome. I hope I can make it. I'll keep you updated on that. But
Yeah.
that's another one in the book. So y'all remember Christ is King. So go read your Bible and go shoot your bow.